dangerous here. Oh, you get back.
From aliens, monsters, and mysterious beings to unicorn elk and vampire deer, here are trail cam captures that no one was supposed to see. Monster in the woods. Some friends were having the time of their lives camping in the woods, having snacks and bonfire and movie night. But then one of the friends went somewhere and minutes passed, but she did not come back. While they were all worried, they had to go check on her. And as they ventured deep into the woods searching for the friend, at first they hear her scream. And then a strange creature comes into view. A spider-like being crawling terrifyingly towards them. What was that? Well, nobody knows. Mysterious being. These two guys were out in the woods late at night. They thought it was a good idea to have some fireworks where no one will get disturbed. However, what they did not know is that someone will get disturbed, and it won't be good for them. As they were doing their thing, shrieks could be heard, and then they decided to go investigate it. And that's when we see the weirdest being possible shrieking and following the men.
Is it still there?
Go! No! Run! Run!
They did make it out alive, but that was one hell of a close call. An alien. Who recorded this video? Who uploaded it on the internet? What exactly was this alien doing? Well, these are some of the questions which remain unanswered, and we're only left with this eerie clip, which looks like it belongs to some kind of secret alien interrogation thing. And if you ask me, I'd say from the view of it, the video looks as legit as anything can be. But do let us know what you guys think. A scary looking thing. About this video, everyone has their own opinions. Some say it's just a gorilla, while others say it's a weird crawling creature, and to some it also looks like a spider. However, no matter what the being is, the way it slowly moves towards the camera, freaking out the man recording it.
What the fuck is that? Okay.
Looks like something straight out of a horror movie.
Terrifying gaze. A shocking image emerged on the internet, captivating everyone with terror-stricken curiosity. The horrifying creature in the picture stared directly into the camera, leaving a trail of panic among netizens. With numerous Bigfoot sightings, it seemed plausible that the mythical creature lurks in the woods. The chilling gaze of this enormous black figure gives the impression that it was peering right at the viewer. Excitement surged among Bigfoot fans, while skeptics still sought answers about the origin of this haunting brute. The eyes of the creature continued to haunt the minds of those who saw it. Unknown raider. Trail cams can catch more than just bears. Years ago, a baffling figure with uneven hairy growth appeared in front of a camera, dragging it across the ground before vanishing into the dark forest. The identity of this unknown raider remains a perplexing mystery. Who or what was behind this strange encounter? The answers remain unknown, calling for amateur detectives to delve into the mystery. Mysterious alien in woods. In the dead of night years ago, a daring explorer set out to uncover strange phenomena in a haunted forest. Little did they know they were about to face their biggest nightmare. A pale, shapeless figure suddenly materialized among the trees, with long, thin limbs and a peculiar head that didn't resemble Bigfoot's features. It left everyone puzzled, and speculations ran wild. Was it an otherworldly alien creature from distant planets? The haunting encounter ended all too quickly, leaving more questions than answers. Mysterious wolf-like creature. Late one night, a driver navigating through the dark forest encountered something truly peculiar. As the headlights illuminated the eerie surroundings, the driver slammed the brakes when a strange sight caught their attention. It wasn't a Yeti this time, but a wolf walking on its hind legs. But hold on, something was off. The creature had skinny arms, unusual paws, and barely noticeable ears. It hardly resembled a typical wolf, yet its fur resembled that of a wolf. The identity of this mysterious wolf-like creature remains shrouded in uncertainty. leaving us all intrigued. Share your views on this strange wolf in the comments. Shadowy figure on forest road. Driving along a bumpy forest road, a man's car suddenly halted in its tracks. The driver tried to figure out a way out of the forest when something caught his eye. A shadowy figure swiftly crossing the road. The creature's bushy body and towering height matched the description of the legendary Bigfoot. The sight triggered intense speculation, but upon closer inspection, it turned out to be nothing more than a shadow. Despite the debunking, people remain determined to unravel the truth about these alleged Bigfoot sightings scouring the forest for answers.
Vicious giraffe. Thinking of some weird, wild events? Show me something rarer than this. I'm sure you can't beat this one. Here is a rare herd of giraffes that shocked wildlife experts when they were spotted scavenging on a buffalo carcass. The video opens with a giraffe picking through the remains of a dead animal. Then another joins the feast, and then one more giraffe enters the frame to try the new taste. Although it was really disturbing to see these giant herbivores doing such a bizarre act, in reality, this is an ordinary case of bone eating, and the animal shown is searching for a small bone that it can chew on for key minerals missing from its plant-based diet. Old Ellie. Don't blame your fate if you're not born as a celebrity. What if you were born with a major disability, just like this elephant? Slanted eyes hidden beneath the folded skin, and a bizarre opening right in the front of its head, below which runs a long trunk with permanent stains of mucus. All these oddities belong to Ranzakeel, a female elephant that was spotted enjoying a normal life just like other animals in its herd. In fact, she was able to breathe through her massive hole. Zoologists believe that this kind of mutation mostly occurs during the fetal phase, as it didn't seem like a predatory attack. For some of you, it might be a unique animal, but honestly, for me, it was far beyond disturbing. Mouthless giraffe. If the above entry isn't enough to convince you to accept the way you are, then next on the list is pretty compelling. Although the opening of this clip is quite normal, as a giraffe could be seen drinking from the lake, the actual oddity began when the water, instead of quenching its thirst, started falling out of a strange hole in its cheeks. Probably, the hole was a result of some kind of predatory attack. It is also believed that the animal was born with this distressing condition, due to which it can never drink water properly. This unbelievable giraffe sighting was observed in the natural reserve of Greater Kruger and has got the sympathies of millions. Chupacabra attacks. Several dead animals in one night without a single clue left, except from the fact that they were all bitten from the neck, left the investigators shocked as they had never witnessed anything like this before. But what was it? A vampire? Or really something that we don't know of? To find answers, the investigators set up a trail cam, and there it was. Hiding figure. This YouTuber decided to visit the woods in central Virginia and record the Bigfoot's evidence. So, setting up a camera, he started running along the trees to let the brute appear. But returned disappointed, as he did not capture any such creature. Well, at least, that's what he thought. As when he uploaded the video, the comment section flooded with people telling him that the creature is right there, in the forest. But it did not make a clear appearance, as it keeps poking out from trees and hiding quickly, making sure that no one spots it. And reveals that there was somebody present in the woods, and people did hear some light growls too. Sasquatch on road. Passing through the bumpy road, the car stopped suddenly in the middle of the forest track. Figuring out a way to get out of the forest, it was when the driver turned on the headlights that he spotted the shadowy figure quickly crossing the road. Tall height and the bushy body that would perfectly match the Bigfoot's description, the thing which triggered viewers the most was that it was not an actual creature, but just a shadow. So, what really was it? While the people were trying to find out the truth about the previous one, another one was also caught on the dashcam, which left the researchers as well as the people startled. Intruder alert. Recording the bald eagle's nest, the camera caught an unsettling event. The mother eagle can be seen incubating the eggs at the start, and then flying off the nest for a small moment, and when she comes back, there's another one that comes along with her. Sitting on the eggs, though the female cracks the predator's intentions, she waits till the first move, but keeps warning the eagle verbally. But not ready to leave empty-handed, the male eagle comes a little forward, and just when he was about to pounce at the sitting one, she jumps right towards him and makes him fall off the tree. And then, inspecting the surroundings, she makes sure her eggs are still safe. Bobcat hunts deer. This deer hunter was surprised to spot another one in his backyard camera. A man from Pulaski County shares footage of the bobcat attacking a doe at night. But the thing which shocked him was the size of the cat, as it was way smaller than the doe. Sadly, not a video, but the man shares a series of pictures showing the incredible attack. Here is the deer on the ground, and that's when the ambush predator makes his first move. And at last, a strong bite on the neck, and here it is, the miserable end of the poor fawn. Striking and striking really hard. Here, see how it takes down the venomous rattlesnake with only its paws. Coyote and deer. An injured buck could be seen standing in front of the trail camera, and behind it, there were two small but extremely hungry coyotes waiting for the buck to pass out so they could enjoy their meal. And though awake, it feels like the buck has lost all his hopes for life, as it does not fight with the coyotes approaching it. But it does not always end with the coyotes winning the fight. Like here, when the mama deer realized that a bush wolf had been following her fawns. She stands in front of the camera, gathers her two fawns, and goes off into the forest. And then, after a few moments, the mama deer was seen again, this time running after the coyote and missing it with some inches to catch it. And later, she was caught circling around a bushy tree, trying to catch the running coyote, though missed it, but yet saved her babies from the predator.
Enigmatic forest lights. In this video, a mysterious scene unfolds during the nighttime tranquility of a dense forest. Strange lights flicker in the distance, appearing and disappearing, captivating the owner's attention. Curiosity ensues as there are no visible houses nearby, and few people venture into this remote forest, especially at such late hours. As the footage plays, the peculiar movement of the light from one part to another adds to the intrigue. Speculations arise. Could it be lost hikers seeking their way out? Or is it something else at play? Such enigmatic occurrences have sparked interest in similar inexplicable events. Mysterious encounter down under. In this footage from North Australia, at 4:38, three friends are seen playfully posing for a photo, unaware of the bizarre events unfolding behind them. The camera holder, instead of snapping a picture, records something extraordinary passing by. A creature defying conventional categorization emerges behind them, triggering an intense sense of fear. On closer examination, slowing down the footage reveals this enigmatic being with a curious blend of canine and human characteristics. Its elongated limbs resemble those of a human, but possess an otherworldly slender quality. Cloaked in darkness, the creature moves gracefully on all fours, displaying an unsettling agility. While its true identity remains a mystery, this extraordinary encounter reminds us of the wonders that exist beyond our comprehension. Eerie night at the bar. Inside a seemingly regular bar, security footage captures a typical night where people socialize, chat, and enjoy their drinks. As closing time approaches, only the bartender and 2 other individuals remain. Suddenly, an inexplicable event unfolds, sending shivers down the spine. The chair closest to the camera begins to sway gently, unnoticed by the 3 engrossed in their work. Gradually, it topples to the floor, prompting their bewildered expressions. They quickly restore it, but wonder about the strange incident. Unbeknownst to them, a subtle presence passes by in the background, a ghostly figure bearing the likeness of a child. Upon closer scrutiny, the translucent form suggests a playful spirit, perhaps of a mischievous child. Could it be the lingering presence of a prankster ghost finding amusement in late-night antics?
Dogman. Captured in a small town in the Middle East, a man, while driving through this abandoned area, spotted a bizarre being on the road. Looking like a man, the creature was walking among dogs, and, like the dogs, it was moving using all 4 limbs. Slowing down his car to figure out what it actually was, the driver was surprised when he came a little closer to him. As no doubt a humanly creature, it had all the other features of an animal. Hopping like a dog, it looked like it had come from the devil's world. And even when the footage was analyzed, the examiner was left stunned, seeing how comfortably the man was doing all this. Hairy figure across lake. There's always a lurking predator ready to spoil the beautiful views along the forest. This time, a man, while riding a boat in an unknown location, was enjoying the serene sight when he spotted a bipedal hairy figure walking down in the woods. Giving chills to the man due to his huge size, it looked exactly like the alleged Bigfoot, and the extra long arms and the giant steps it was taking on the trail were enough to convince the viewers as well that it was a Bigfoot that the boat rider had captured in his camera. But going back again in the woods to see the monstrous animal and not finding any clue of its presence, the man left stunned. Does that mean that such creatures have hidden places to live that humans don't know about? Or do they simply trick us with their supernatural characteristics? Rescued wolf. Dealing with the ultimate danger, this guy deserved all the appreciation for rescuing a frustrated wolf after it got trapped. Taking a stroll in an open field, the dude spotted a wolf stuck in the foothold trap who was in dire need of help. Immediately coming to save the poor animal, the man used a catch pole to control it. But not in a mood to cooperate, it took several attempts for him to relax the tensed animal. And then, finally releasing his foot from the trap, though the boy saved the timber wolf, it did not realize it and kept sitting till the end of the video. Floating light. Here we have a man's trail camera, which he had set up in the woods to capture wild animals. And though it did capture them, it also caught a mysterious object floating in the sky. Look here, when the camera captured a luminous sphere right behind the deer grazing. Staying in the camera's sight for a few minutes, the mysterious object then disappeared in the sky. But continuously moving, the glowing circle got the spectators on edge as they tried to figure out what it could be. Could it be aliens trying to reach the Earth? Or do you have a better explanation for it? Let me know. Sasquatch on stroll. Taking a morning walk in the woods of Maine, the man did not have any idea that he had also got a companion strolling along with him. Making a vlog and talking about the deep woods tracks and the wild animals present there, it was right before the dude shifted his camera that the alleged Sasquatch was captured standing still beside a tall tree, probably stalking or just hiding from the man. The Yeti did not even move a limb the whole time the camera was on it. But because the man did not notice the horrid figure on the spot, he only got a glimpse of it. Ghostly shadow. Living in the middle of the dark forest, the man had been spotting a strange shadow in his backyard. Therefore, after several appearances, he decided to follow it this time. waiting for it on the other side. It was when he shifted that he spotted a huge shadow between the trees. It was a huge, slightly distorted shadow that was caught walking in the woods and left the people in shock as they considered it one of the most convincing evidence of an apparition captured.
Alien in graveyard. Footage was uploaded by some unknown guy in 2017, and it had everyone in shock who happened to watch it. At first, we see the quiet of a cemetery, but then as the camera rolls on, we catch a glimpse of a bizarre humanoid figure half hiding behind a grave. If we zoom into it, we see a weird being with a huge head and arms. It fits so accurately to what we have in mind for an alien, don't you think? A haunted tunnel. This might be too short of a clip, but a mere second is enough to feel the spookiness of the video. We see a creepy figure emerging from the dark and running straight towards the man holding the camera. And then we see the man running as fast as he can for his life. I'm not going near any tunnels from now on. Rake. A kid was out in the woods when he started hearing some weird noises, and that's when he decided to take his phone out and film it while trying to see what was causing it. And to his surprise, it wasn't just him who was looking for the creature. The creature was also looking for him, and that we get to know when he comes out of the woods and starts running towards the kid. A creepy girl. Back in 2013, there was this video that spread like wildfire online. It showed a lone girl dressed in white walking around a cemetery while some men recorded her. The video lasted about 4 minutes, and the girl was shown wandering around the graveyard, stopping by different graves. Who was she? Did she happen to be a ghost? These and countless other questions were thrown around, but no one had any answers to offer. A crawling thing. In this video, we see a courageous person exploring an empty house using only a flashlight. While exploring, the person begins to feel uneasy, and then a frightening creature appears from the darkness, moving towards them and making terrifying sounds. The person quickly runs away from the house, clearly scared by the unknown creature. Although we don't know what the creature was, it's obvious that the abandoned house is not a suitable place for those who are easily frightened. A deer. At first, we see a deer all panicking, running from here to there, and eventually running away from the man. And in a second emerges another deer unlike any other, with its neck all folded. And then it runs away too, as fast as it could. All this happens in a few seconds, and the man there is like, what just happened? Even though it was just 2 deer, that does not make the video any less creepy. A weird body. In May 2019, a woman found a weird body laying in her yard in Florida. She immediately called the authorities to come and see what it was, and needless to say, they were all just as perplexed as she was. According to some, it was a big lizard. But what exactly caused the big lizard to dry up like that? Not even the bones were there. A frozen monster. It's not just forests and jungles that hide secrets beyond our imagination. Sometimes it's the ice, too. For instance, this man who ended up finding a Bigfoot all frozen up under the ice.
I can see its eyes and it's his head.
Maybe it got trapped inside by the cruel nature, or maybe it was just a hoax. Which, even if it was, I'll be scared as hell still. Snakes. This footage was filmed when a team of workers were told by some locals that they think there's a snake in their ceiling. None of them knew that it wasn't just a snake on that ceiling, but 2 massive snakes living up there. As the ceiling dropped, the snakes almost dropped with it too, leaving everyone near them to jump back in horror. It happened in Malaysia, and since this video was uploaded, everyone there has been checking their ceilings twice every night. A giant spider. Now, was it just a tiny spider looking so big due to being close to the trail cam? Or was it a really massive spider lurking in the depths of the woods? It's up to you what you think, but if you ask me, I'm never going into those woods with such long-legged creatures crawling everywhere. Dwarves. Are dwarves real, or are they just works of fantasy? I guess you'll be shocked to know that there's a chance that these creatures might be real. I mean, look at this video and the small things in the jungle. Don't they look very similar to what a dwarf would be like? Someone in the sink. I don't know if any of you might have guessed it, but this one is also from Florida. She wanted to check the outside bathroom, which was along the pool, and it seemed all fine until she went up close to the sink and found this thing hiding inside. But the question here is, what was it? A snake? A lizard? A gecko? And because it's Florida, we can't really say anything for sure.
Weird man in the forest. Let me show you another disturbing clip of the day, as it involves a couple of friends who stumbled upon something really spooky while walking in the forest at night. Standing alone in the middle of the path was a strange guy in white who started to communicate with them.
Ryan?
Is that you?
Is that you?
Yeah, it is.
Prove it?
Prove it?
Yeah, prove it.
Thinking of their lost friend, when one of the guys asked that boy to prove his identity, he suddenly changed his shape and voice and vanished back into the dark, just like a creepy ghoul.
I don't know where this thing is, or when it's gonna...
Although one of the guys tried to chase him, they couldn't get any other clue. And since that time, the truth behind the creepy guy has become an unsolved mystery. Unknown beast in the backyard. Filmed at an unknown location, the camera captured a bizarre figure peeking from behind the wall on the side of the pool. Initially, it looked like a man trying to get inside, but when the footage was zoomed in, it started looking less like a human. In fact, the way it looked around and managed to jump back didn't seem human at all. Many claimed it could be a midnight ghost, while others simply stated that it was nothing but a bear. Well, if any of you know better, do write us in the comments section. Humo crab. While enjoying the bonfire in the middle of the thick woods, a group of friends got the biggest shock of their life when they decided to look for the girl who went away to make a call. Searching around for the girl, they were stunned to find her lying numb in front of a tree, and then suddenly, from behind one of the bushes, a creepy creature jumped out. With multiple limbs attached to a human body, that unidentified being seemed to be a human crab-type creature. Although this clip stopped without any proper ending, these few terrifying minutes are enough to make you think twice the next time you set up a plan for camping. Bigfoot encounter. It's okay to find animals in the woods, but it's definitely not okay to find monstrous creatures right in front of the camera. While chasing a deer to get a closer look, another couple of campers were shocked to find a huge beast behind the trees. At first, they took it as a bear, but it was all until the dark creature stood up. With its dark body and giant features, it looked right at them and tried to get close. Fortunately, they both managed to escape, leaving their tent, in fact, everything, behind. Many speculated it to be a huge bear, but according to those guys, it was an actual Bigfoot. Cryptic being. According to an old saying, forests are actually haunted by werewolves and witches that come out at night. But this time, it looks like one of the evil spirits has decided to make an appearance in daytime. Filmed at an unknown location, this video shows a car being driven in the middle of a forest, and suddenly, the driver noticed a strange, small creature standing on the roadside. Apparently, it looked like a small animal, but upon getting closer, it turned out to be a short, faceless figure who was busy in some kind of sinister activity, but suddenly ran back after watching a car approaching it. Is it really a cryptic being, or just a hoax? Any ideas? Bigfoot. Over the years, there have been rumors of Bigfoot, but nothing to actually prove its existence, until 2013. A team of researchers in October 2013 went out in the forests of Pennsylvania to investigate after rumors of citizens seeing these giants abounded. After using a series of baits, they finally bumped into one of them and recorded this never-before-seen video of a SASQUATCH. Despite sharing of this evidence, some researchers were still left in disbelief, calling it a hoax or strange. Now, you certainly can agree or disagree yourself if these giants exist or not. Wolf-like animal. This certainly seems to be a real-life Game of Thrones-like direwolf, a huge, white, and wild wolf on the loose. A Racine County resident's door camera recorded this footage in June 2018, showing a huge wolf-like animal that was wandering around in the neighborhood. Upon reviewing the footage, numerous speculations started among the residents, who were concerned for their safety. Animal shelter and wildlife experts were summoned to find and capture it, as the locals may not have the same luck the next time. What kind of creature do you think it is? Do share your thoughts with us down in the comments. Humanoid in forest. While passing through a forest in Indonesia, a group of bikers came across a peculiar humanoid-like organism who attacked and tripped one of the bikers on the ground. With one of the bikers having a GoPro camera installed on his helmet, it managed to record the entire incident. According to the bikers, this humanoid goblin ambushed his mate, having a superior strength and speed more than any human being. It used a cane to strike the biker down to the ground. And soon after the incident, a few of the bikers attempted to pursue the perpetrator, but it got away and disappeared back into the forest, leaving only the cane behind. Strange-looking gator. While most people thought it was just another alligator, this unusual-looking predator turned out to be much more sinister. A huge alligator-like reptile made a sudden appearance in Ohio that caught attention not because of its sudden appearance, but rather how different it seemed to be. It had a long, scaly body and a powerful tail, but the most striking thing about it was that it seemed to be missing its front limbs, with a tail as thick and wide as its body. It gets worse. Somehow this strange gator-like animal was able to run thrice as fast as any gator, moving like a snake, assisted by hind legs. The onlookers believe it could be a case of a reincarnated gator that may be somehow enhanced. Dogman caught on camera. Now, if this isn't the werewolf, Bigfoot, or some mystery crawler already, this is probably another forest beast that you may want to avoid. During a 3-day hike in Firefly Forest, Kansas, a huge part man, part dog beast was seen several times as it was stalking a group of young adults camping in the forest, standing only a dozen meters away from them. Initially, it was thought to be a lone wolf until it was seen moving like any normal human being. It chose to remain distant and continuously surveilled them for hours without taking any break, creating a cause of concern. They were forced to cut their camping trip short to avoid confronting the nicknamed Dogman, the Devil Owl. Get ready to be spooked, folks, because we're about to delve into the mysterious world of the infamous Devil Owl of Mexico. Also known as the Stygian owl, this nocturnal creature is considered to be one of the most terrifying birds in the world, and for good reason. The Stygian owl is a large, dark-colored bird with piercing yellow eyes that seem to glow in the night. Its wingspan can reach up to 3 feet in length, making it an imposing figure in the skies of Mexico and Central and South America. Nothing special, right? I mean, sounds just like an ordinary owl, doesn't it? Well, wait till you hear about this. One thing about this guy stands out clearly. The yellow, flashing eyes can immediately change. These sinister-looking birds have reflecting discs that, when exposed to daylight, make their eyes seem exceptionally red. Devilish enough yet? Well, apart from this, according to local legend, the Stygian owl is believed to be the harbinger of death and doom. It's said that the owl's haunting calls can cause fear and despair in those who hear it, and that its presence is a sign that someone in the community will soon die. But despite its ominous reputation, the Stygian owl is actually an important part of the ecosystem in Mexico and Central America. It feeds primarily on rodents and insects, helping to control their populations and prevent them from wreaking havoc on crops and other vegetation. So if you're ever traveling through Mexico or Central America and happen to hear the eerie call of the Stygian owl, don't be too quick to run for the hills. It may be a spooky experience, but it's also a reminder of the incredible diversity and beauty of the natural world. The weirdest abduction. Philip Spencer, a former police officer, was traveling across the meadow to his father-in-law's house on the morning of the 1st of December, 1987. In an effort to get a few pictures of the sunlight at sunrise, he had brought a camera with him. In reality, the pictures he took on that particular day would eventually be published in international media. Spencer claimed that while using a compass to find his way through the fog, he came across a weird-looking figure. He immediately snapped a picture of the monster before following it and claiming to have seen a dome-topped UFO emerge from the ground and vanish into the sky. Although Spencer claimed that he believed the entire incident only lasted a few minutes, several UFO experts believed that he had actually been the target of an alien kidnapping, because once he arrived at his destination, the village clock was 1 hour ahead of his time. The images Spencer captured, despite being a little blurry, looked like it showed a 4-foot-tall, dark green alien being with a huge head and thin, long arms. Spencer took the creature's movement to be a warning to keep away, but he nevertheless pulled out his camera and snapped a photo of it. The photographs were analyzed, and it was determined that the figure was not displayed and showed no similarity with any native wildlife. The sighting has been brushed off as a hoax by skeptics who claim that the picture actually represents another object, like a human being, or perhaps a cardboard cutout. A paranormal creature riding a horse. This video gives off a paranormal vibe that will make you jump out of your skin as we watch this horse galloping through the fog. At first glance, it appears as though an extraterrestrial is leading them into oblivion, but it seems like this video is going to be a nightmare for many of you. Such clips are the reason you regret watching such creepy and spine-chilling videos. A scary encounter. Somewhere on a beach in China, a man came across this strange sponge-like creature. Thinking it was dead or possibly not alive at all, he went to it and grabbed it with his bare hands. However, the creature wasn't dead at all, and that's when we saw it move its hands and legs, or however you want to call those, in a peculiar way. Could this be some kind of mutated starfish? Let us know what you think in the comments. Human-faced fish. A fish with a human face. It's possible that the video's real, but it's also possible that it's simply a carp, and the particular camera angle at its scales has given it the appearance that it's human with a human-like face. The video went viral in November 2019, and people are still confused by its presence. I don't know. Personally, I'm thinking it's a carp with some strange genetic mutation. A tree face. Look closely at this amazing tree. You'll see that its leaves are unique in that they resemble the figure of a stunning woman. This tree is cut into the shape of a woman, and when the right lighting is shown upon it, it reveals this image. While this art may not be naturally occurring, it is unquestionably unique and quite amazing.
Another Yeti. The person who filmed the video was extremely surprised by the massive creature that he captured. However, the shocker was that the creature was nowhere to be seen when they returned the next day to film it again. This caused a frenzy online as people tried to decipher what it could be. Some speculated it might be a Nephilim or a Yeti, while others believed it could be a top-secret military project. A baby mermaid. You must have always heard about mermaids being a mythical creature, but this video will get you doubting that. A man in India saw something unusual swimming in the water and went to inspect it, and to his surprise, it was something which looked exactly like a mermaid, just a little smaller in size than we all must have expected. Perhaps it was a baby mermaid, or maybe just a little monkey drowning. With the video ending so abruptly, there's nothing we can say for sure. A Yeti. Now, sighting a Bigfoot here and there and from a very far away angle is one thing, but capturing a really big creature falling and tumbling down is just on another level. And this is exactly what this man was able to capture on his camera. Two big creatures, or perhaps Yetis, were seen devouring an animal, and a second passes and we see one tumbling down the icy hill. Even though it was recorded in 2016, to this day, no logical explanation has been given by anyone. A crawling creature. This video literally has everyone spooking out as they see a weird glowing creature in the middle of nowhere at night crawling on the ground. Some call it the rake, while others think it's just some unknown animal. But the ones who happened to record it said it looked similar to a human, but was not a human at all. So then what was it? I guess we'll never know. Bear versus mirror. Trail cameras usually capture animals chilling, hunting, and going along their normal life. But sometimes these cameras capture things out of the ordinary. For instance, this bear was just going along his way when he suddenly saw something he'd never seen before. His own reflection. And needless to say, we do not think he liked it a lot. A Bigfoot. Camera can be handy at times, but we need to be careful because sometimes trying to record dangerous things can lead to unfortunate circumstances. For instance, take the case of this man who tried to record a Bigfoot strolling along in the woods. Guess he was lucky or maybe hiding perfectly that the creature didn't notice him, or we wouldn't have been able to get this footage. Mysterious creature. A couple had been noticing weird noises in their backyard, but they'd never been able to know what was causing it, so they installed a camera there. It was all peaceful and quiet at first as nothing suspicious happened, but as some time passed, we saw a creepy head popping out of the fence. We see it once, then we see it twice. Was it just a dog, or was it something which had remained hidden from us since forever? A brave man. This footage might not be as disturbing or creepy as many others in today's list, but this is unusual nonetheless. As we see this Florida man dancing along with the alligator, we can't help but rub our eyes twice to make sure this is real. And trust us, this is real. Florida sure is one strange place. A sewer creature. This dude was filming and caught a freaky creature hiding in the shadows. It only showed itself when he stopped moving, and it had these creepy glowing eyes. But when he tried to get closer, the thing bolted back into the dark. Now we're left with more questions than answers, wondering what the heck that thing even was. Strange little beings. Now, these little beings were found by a woman on her kitchen floor. And if you're thinking these are little mice, no, they are not. According to the experts, the legs of the creatures resembled moths, and there's a chance that the upper body might have been eaten by a cat, but the experts weren't so sure either. So we don't know what these tiny little beings were. Buck in a wig. Have you ever come across the buck who's the handsomest of all? The bad boy grazing the grass and winning all the ladies with his wig on? Well, now you have. This buck was recorded in 2013 and caught the attention of everyone with his stylish wig. It was at first part of his antlers, but then slowly moved on top of his head, making him the most stunning buck ever. A creepy deer. Did you check out that weird video of a goat standing still and staring straight ahead? It's been all over the web and everyone's losing it. Some peeps reckon it might be the mythical skinwalker, while others are calling BS. We ain't got a clue who shot it, so it's all up to our own imaginations.
Hello. She wants to come in.
Damn, one thing's for certain. It's super creepy.
A nanny cam ghost. This creepy video has surfaced online that shows a nanny cam capturing a ghostly figure lurking behind a baby. The parents claim that they have noticed this strange activity before, with their baby being scratched, but this is the first time they were able to capture it on camera. The figure appears to be lurking in the background, but its presence is enough to send shivers down your spine. Watch the video and let us know what you think. Is this just a hoax or something more sinister? Amazonian dog. Now, the Amazon forest is like a home to all weirdest and strangest things and animals. And this is why people love putting their trail cams there. This time, they got footage of a rare Amazonian short-eared dog. It was thought to be a near-extinct species for quite some time, and the researchers were losing hope of finding any, and that is when they got their hands on this clip, in which this dog was seen sniffing around the forest like usual. Teams have been sent to find it so they can keep it in the preservatory and make sure it lives longer. A scary encounter. A man was out for a walk in the woods and was probably enjoying himself till he saw what no one was supposed to see. As he moved forward and came to the bridge, he saw a creepy clown trying to cross it. The clown was going to the other side, but as the man reacted to him by freaking out, he turned back and started moving towards him, which resulted in, of course, the man being freaked out more than before and running away. What are you guys doing if you end up in such a situation? Possum body slams skunk. Check out this hilarious video captured by a trail cam. It shows an epic fight between two of the tiniest creatures in the wild, a possum and a skunk. At first, they were a little far from each other, but as the fight got more intense, they started to come nearer and nearer. Finally, the possum decided to end it once and for all by body slamming the skunk. It's definitely one of those moments that you don't want to miss in the history of wildlife. Albino deer. A hunter in Tennessee was lucky enough to come across an unprecedented sight, an albino deer. Albino animals are quite rare in nature, and it's illegal to hunt or kill them. Thankfully, the hunter decided to only shoot the deer with his camera and share the remarkable footage online. The unique and natural white coat of the deer caught the attention of not only his fellow hunters, but also the locals, sparking curiosity and wonder. It's not every day that you get to witness such a beautiful and rare sight in the wild. A huge creature. In February of 2011, a family went out for some target practice in a field. The father set up some cans and bottles as targets, showing his son how to aim the rifle. However, things got strange when the father noticed a figure running in the top right of the screen. In the last frames of the video, the figure is seen crouching on all fours on some rocks. Some viewers have speculated that it could be a SASQUATCH or a dogman, while others believe it could be something else entirely. What do you guys think? A death march. It was an ordinary day for the commuters in Boston until something bizarre caught their attention. In the middle of a busy road, a group of turkeys were circling around a dead cat. The strange sight was captured on video, and it left many people puzzled. Why were the turkeys behaving this way? Was it some kind of ritual, a warning? Some people believe that animals have a heightened sense of the supernatural and can see things that humans cannot. Could this be one of those instances? The mystery remains unsolved. A survival battle. Get ready for the ultimate scavenger showdown. In a remote area of Montana, a bald eagle and a coyote are caught on camera going head-to-head over a deer carcass. Despite the coyote's size advantage, the bald eagle's massive wingspan gives it an edge. The intense battle between these two skilled predators is like a game of chess, with each one trying to outsmart the other. In the end, the coyote snatches the juiciest piece of meat and makes a run for it, leaving the bald eagle to enjoy the rest of its hard-earned meal. A peace-loving animal. A bunch of tourists were out in the woods minding their own business when they stumbled upon a massive orangutan. Now let's face it, most of us would freak out at the sight of a wild ape. But this one was a real chill dude. It just sat there taking in the scenery before giving some major side-eye to the group. Then, like a true model, it picked out one lucky tourist and followed them around for a bit, striking a pose like it was on the cover of National Geographic. Who knew orangutans had such an eye for fashion? Ninja rats. This trail cam entry stars these ninja rats. They're small rodents that can be found in the desert, hopping around like kangaroos. But don't underestimate them just because of their size. When they're out searching for food, snakes might come after them, thinking they're an easy meal. But these ninja rats are ready to fight back. With their big legs and lightning-fast reflexes, they can easily kick a snake out of the way. So snakes better watch out because these little guys are not to be messed with.
An alien hitchhiker. While going about his usual routine, this truck driver caught something super creepy on his dash cam. And if you watch the video at regular speed, you might miss it. But if you slow it down a bit, you'll spot a strange figure standing by the roadside. What the heck was that thing? Some folks are saying it's an extraterrestrial, but others are calling it a hoax. But even if it was staged, it's still enough to give you the heebie-jeebies. Don't you agree? A masked being. So there was this guy living in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of trees behind his house. Every day he kept hearing these freaky noises that he just couldn't explain. So he came up with a plan to get to the bottom of it. He set up a camera in his backyard and another one in the woods. And let me tell you, the footage he got was seriously spooky.
What is that?
My bad, man.
He caught this bizarre creature in his backyard that looked like it was wearing some kind of freaky mask. And in the woods, he caught another creature that was glowing like crazy. It was totally nuts. But even after all that, nobody knows what the heck those things actually were. A Yeti. A strange video filmed on a Canadian mountain has left people scratching their heads. The footage shows a massive creature that left the videographer stunned. The next day, when he returned to film again, the creature was nowhere to be seen. After posting the video, many people had different ideas about what the creature could be, ranging from a Nephilim or Yeti to a secret military experiment. Let us know what you guys think. A monster in the dark. Now, you might find this one a little blurry, but that does not make the creature this man happened to capture any less terrifying. At first, he thought it was a very large buck or something, but things got creepy when it started moving and coming closer. It looked more like a human, but a huge one. A huge black cat. In this video, which went viral, a Mississippi man named David Sluter captured footage of what appeared to be a massive black cat walking through a field. After initially thinking it was a deer or coyote, he realized it was some type of cat and started filming. David was over 100 yards away, but from the cat's tail, he could tell it was massive. Some experts have dismissed the cat as an overgrown house cat, while others believe it's a more dangerous mountain lion. Regardless, everyone is currently on the lookout for the mysterious feline. Weird creature. In January 2013, a man reviewing footage from a trail camera left in the woods for several days made a disturbing discovery. He described the figure captured in the footage as an alien, although others speculate it may be a ghost or an unidentified creature. Initially, the figure appeared to be a distorted bush or an animal, but upon closer inspection, its unnaturally smooth movements and direct stare at the camera indicated that it was something abnormal. The figure resembled a woman, but with disproportionately large, flashing eyes and flowing hair. What do you guys think it was? A vampire deer. This trail cam footage shows a deer peacefully grazing on the ground. But if you think this is just a normal deer and nothing special, then let us tell you that it's no ordinary deer. This is a vampire deer, which are usually found in China and Korea. What's really interesting about them is their teeth, which are huge and tusk-like. They're pretty small, usually weighing between 33 and 65 pounds and standing only 2 to 3 feet tall. They like to hang out near water sources and wetlands and grasslands and are most active during the early morning and late afternoon. Bear steals snacks. This CCTV camera happened to record the cute moments this bear family was having. The kid should have been hungry as the mama bear was trying her best to get food from anywhere, and what she found was this car. We see her getting into the car and the cubs walking here and there. Isn't it strange how mothers can go out of their way just to help their offspring? A unicorn elk. An unusual elk with an antler protruding from its forehead was spotted on a trail cam in Tampico. Yes, just like the unicorns do. According to the owner of the camera, the antler did not appear to be causing harm, but it may hinder the elk's ability to feed. However, the elk does appear to be in good shape. A curious deer. They say the only thing stronger than fear is curiosity. And this little guy here is going to prove it right, because when the hunter was all set looking for some delicious deer to hunt, one of the deer wondered, I should go and check what that human's doing over there. And it came as close to death as anyone can. But good for him, the hunter decided to let him go that day.
Tangled bucks. A couple, while taking a drive in the forest, spotted 2 bucks in the worst way possible, as they were badly trapped in the steel wires. The man, with a large plier in his hand, immediately came to the bucks' rescue, but already terrified of the miserable accident, the bucks were not ready to cooperate at any cost, especially the one standing, giving the poor man a hard time, because the more he tries to go near it, the more it gets frustrated, and sometimes even coming so close to breaking his neck until it was set free. The other one, laying on the ground and not moving at all for the whole time, got the man thinking it was dead till he cut its wire, and then it ran even faster than the other one towards the woods. Leopard versus panther. Shot in Karnataka, which is a state of India. This video has been making rounds on the internet as it shows a hostile encounter between a black panther and a leopard. The leopard, who was already sitting up on a tree branch, was spotted by the panther and then slowly approaching and climbing up the tree. These two were caught so close, the people had predicted the start of a brutal fight. As being stealth hunters, that's the only thing that could be expected from these black cats. But surprisingly, no attacks and no brutal ending. But the black cat returned to the ground without a fight. Giant moose. These men, while exploring the woods in Canada and staying there for one night, had a once-in-a-lifetime experience when a giant moose came to pay them a visit. It was 7 meters tall and weighed almost 1,000 pounds. The man, terrified but excited to see the huge animal at the same time, decided to go near it and was standing just a few feet away from the monstrous creature. And even though this one does seem a bit calm, the researchers said that the man clearly put his life in danger, as it's not scared of humans because of their huge size, and they will come straight at them when provoked. Just like here, when a moose, spotting the bow hunter from a distance, came to attack it, and the only thing which saved him from becoming the victim was the lake between them. Superwoman. Making the headlines as the woman was caught standing on top of a tree. Yeah, not a witch and not an alien either. But the people of a small town in India experienced this strange event when a woman with not even a single supporting string attached to her body climbed the tree and was standing still there. And the more people asked her to come back, the more she showed resistance. Coming to the woman's rescue, police were told by family members that the woman was not mentally stable. Therefore, upon a small argument within the family, she climbed up the tree. But how she got up there is still a mystery. Crawling man. While driving on an abandoned road, a man sensed motion in the woods. Therefore, stopping his car immediately, the man started looking among the trees. Thinking there might be a wild animal, the man was shocked when he saw a strange, humanoid cryptid crawling in the woods. Slowly making its way outside the woods, the cryptid shows its freakish features and this scary, whitish body. But what could it be? Where some claim it to be an alien that was captured coming out of the woods, others call it a hoax, as otherwise, the buffalo standing right beside him would be spooked on sensing the movement. So, real or fake? Let me know your views on it.
Fighting pandas. In this video, 2 big pandas are fighting like crazy, and it's leaving us all shocked and confused. Normally, these gentle creatures are all about munching on bamboo, playing around, and doing cute somersaults. But it turns out, even pandas can get feisty sometimes. We don't really know why they suddenly got so aggressive. A cute fight. I mean, let's be honest, for the bunny gang, this fight was probably a big deal. But if we as humans saw these 2 bunnies trying to throw punches while hopping around in perfect sync, it would be hard not to find it absolutely adorable. Of course, I'm not saying we should jump in and break it up. Who knows, we might end up with a bunny punch right in the face too, right? Dirt bath. Who says birds don't need a spa day? These sparrows are taking their grooming routine to a whole new level in the woods. They're into this thing called dirt bathing. Basically, they cover themselves in dirt to keep their feathers healthy and prevent too much oil buildup. It's quite a sight to see these birds dipping themselves in the dirt, rolling around and flapping their wings to make sure every feather gets coated. They're pretty hygienic for little creatures, don't you think? A trail cam thief. So there's this coyote just strolling through the woods when it spots a trail camera nearby. Well, it seems like the camera caught its attention because it kept coming back trying to snatch it. After a few tries, it actually succeeded and bolted away with the camera as fast and as far as it could. The camera had quite an adventure with the coyote, getting all battered and scratched until its rightful owner found it.
There's trees there. Oh, he's off. Right, there's something there. Okay, some.
Man vanished. This Ring camera recorded a man walking on the street at night, but just after a few seconds, he appeared to have vanished in thin air. It was in the middle of the camera's view, so we cannot say that he may have walked to the edge of the view. Now, how did this happen and who exactly was the man? This answer remained unknown as the woman whose camera recorded it said she had never seen them before. Fish crossing road. A year ago, people in Washington saw this weird phenomena happening. A number of fishes were seen crossing the road. Just like you and me, they were all so shocked to see how these salmon fishes were showing this unusual behavior. However, this scenario is the result of the river flooding. What you're seeing are salmon going from a field that they've been washed into, back across the road to get back into the river to continue their journey. This doesn't happen very often, but when it does, some salmon that get washed out do this to make it back. A flipping spider. What you're seeing right here is a spider which is newly discovered. When the researchers saw it for the first time flip-flopping its way through the desert, they were astonished. At first, it was thought that something might have triggered such behavior. However, later it was observed that this was a new species, and this spider was unlike all the others, and it only does its cartwheeling when trying to get away from a predator. Dog walks on water. We don't know what this dog was thinking, but he sure did surprise all the humans with his supernatural ability to walk on the water. Every single person in the party was just left shaken. It almost seems like something out of the movie The Secret Life of Pets. Do you think it could be based on a true story? Talking raven. Ravens are incredible beings and are considered to be one of the smartest birds. But one quality of theirs makes them more special than anyone else, and that is the way they can imitate human voices.
Hi. Hi. Good bird.
For instance, this clip shows a couple recording a raven perched on a stone, then try to make the bird imitate them. But at first, it doesn't seem to care. But then, all of a sudden, the raven starts repeating what they say.
You alright, love? You alright? You alright?
It even says, "I'm alright."
You alright? You alright? You alright? I'm alright.
A poop fest. If you think penguins are just fluffy birds just walking here and there in the coldest regions on the Earth, well, you're wrong, because these penguins are actually having way more fun than any of us. Just that their style of having fun is a little unusual, because what they do love is to poop over one another. Now, I know, it might sound gross and you might go all ew hearing this, but they enjoy it a lot. And who are we to judge, right? Elephant steals food. Humans and animals have been living together for decades, and this year-long relation has led to us understanding each other pretty much. For instance, take the elephant as an example. Years and years after passing the same road, he has come to know that a truck passes the same road every day with lots of sugarcane. So, what did the elephant decide to do? He decided to take a shortcut to get food and steal from the truck whenever he gets the chance to. Ice balls. These tourists were out looking and admiring the natural beauty when one of them discovered this strange thing happening. He found a waterfall where the water was turning into perfectly round ice balls.
Ice balls.
Don't they just look perfect? And if you're thinking of hitting a friend with it, don't play with them or use them as weapons, because they'll hurt. A strong bug. Bugs are often thought of as tiny creatures that anyone can easily squash, aren't they? However, this particular bug defies that stereotype and proves that size doesn't always equate to weakness. Its grip was one of the most powerful I have ever seen, clinging to the machine with an unyielding force that seemed to say, "Go ahead and try to break free." Isn't that truly remarkable? A grateful kangaroo. This kangaroo was stuck and had come to the conclusion that he cannot do anything about his situation and needs the help of humans. That is why he did not resist or punch the men who came to help him. Instead, after getting saved and safely on the land, he stood there, calmly waiting for the humans to shake his hand.
Oh, he's thanking ya.
Such bizarre creatures. Not especially friendly, but impossible not to love. A sea lion. So this photographer thought she'd get some cool shots of these seals up close by laying low on the ground. But one of the seals spotted her and decided to check out what's going on. Next thing you know, this huge baby elephant seal is flopping over to investigate. And before she knows it, she's getting squished. Apparently, the seal weighed over 100 kilograms. But the best part is, she and her husband couldn't stop laughing even though she was flattened like a pancake. Meerkats. Have you seen this video where a photographer was trying to capture some pictures of meerkats in their natural habitat? Well, the meerkats were not too happy being ignored, and they decided to check out the photographer instead. They climbed up on his head, back, and even his camera. These moments were called magic moments by the BBC, and we totally get why. Cartwheeling dolphin. This video features a man showing off his cartwheeling skills in front of a dolphin enclosure. At first, one curious dolphin tried to imitate him, but gave up after one attempt. But then another dolphin arrived and was totally into it. She mimicked every single cartwheel the man did, as if she was trying to impress him. I mean, who knew? Maybe the dolphin did get a crush on the man, right?
This is so cool! This is... Oh my god.
Chimp washing cloth. Be it monkeys, chimps, or gorillas, they are all said to be the most intelligent animals on Earth. And they imitate humans almost perfectly. For instance, see this one chimp who was recorded by a camera washing a cloth. Then it cleaned its hands and face with it. The caretakers had no idea where the animal had picked up this habit. According to them, no one ever did anything like that in front of the chimp. But then, where did he learn that? Lion and deer. Take a look at this unlikely pair taking a leisurely walk through the woods. It's a lion and a deer. Can you imagine? This trail cam clip is truly special, considering lions are notorious predators and rulers of the jungle. Yet here we witness a deer fearlessly following a lion, as if they're old chums or something. Who knows what really happens in the animal world? But one thing is certain. This video is guaranteed to brighten your day and put a smile on your face. A Sicilian. What you're seeing right here might look like a worm to you, but just look at its fang-type teeth and the whole head. This is not a worm, folks. It is called a Sicilian, and these are amphibians. Yep, just like frogs. They just lack arms and legs. But as they lack, their nature made them the only amphibians to have fangs. Fishing cat. Have you ever heard of a fishing cat? No, it's not a cat that likes to go fishing with a rod and reel. These adorable felines are the only ones in the world that specialize in catching fish. While other cats may nibble on a fish occasionally, these guys are pros at it. Found in South Asia, fishing cats are known for their unique hunting style. They dive face first into the water to ambush their prey. Turtle helps turtle. This video shows two turtles hanging out together, when suddenly one of them flips over and can't get back on its feet. But what happens next is truly heartwarming. The other turtle comes to the rescue and uses its head to push and help the struggling one roll back over. This behavior has been seen among turtles a lot of times. When one rolls over the other, one comes running to help. Chimp sweeps floor. This amazing chimp was seen sweeping the floor in his cage with a broom. It's incredible, right? According to his caretaker, the chimp learned this behavior by simply watching them sweep the floor. Apparently, she's usually the one cleaning up the enclosure, but this clever chimp decided to lend a hand. A friendly deer. This man was sitting in the woods minding his own business when this little guy decided to come up to him and give some company. What did he want in return? Just some scratches under his neck. That is all the payment needed for such nice company. And look at that cute face. Smart fish. Every time I hear about catfish, they're always doing something wild. Now in India, these slippery swimmers are taking to land and learning how to walk. Don't they have enough space in the vast ocean? Apparently not, as they venture onto land in search of grub. I don't know about you, but to me it's kind of freaky to see so many of them scurrying about. What a strange sight. Sloths. If you thought sloths were nothing but lazy critters, prepare to have your mind blown. Because it turns out they can move pretty darn fast when they want to. I mean, check out the footage of those little guys attacking those humans with lightning speed. Honestly, it's probably best to give them their space and let them do their sloth thing without disturbing them. Who knew these seemingly laid-back animals had such a surprising burst of energy in them? Weird creature in woods. While on their routine bike ride along steep tracks, a group of bikers encountered a terrifying experience that would haunt them forever. As they ventured deeper into the forest, a strange humanoid creature suddenly emerged from the side of the track and quickly started running away. The sight of the creature caused one of the bikers to lose control and fall off his bike. Shocked, the biker with the camera attempted to chase after the creature, but to his surprise, it vanished into thin air, leaving him bewildered. A friendly seal. As Vincent Vajera was enjoying a leisurely fishing trip off the coast of California, he got an unexpected visitor, a friendly seal who decided to hop aboard his kayak. Initially, Vincent was a bit startled, but he quickly realized that the seal just wanted a hug. The adorable creature snuggled up to Vincent and refused to leave, creating a heartwarming moment that was caught on camera.
Here's my new friend. He jumped aboard out at the bridge.
Despite several attempts to coax the seal back into the water, the little guy just wanted to stay and hang out with his new friends. A mermaid. Check out this crazy footage captured by some guys in Israel. They managed to catch what looks like a real-life mermaid on camera. The quality isn't great, but you can totally see the creature chilling on a rock before diving back into the water when it notices the guys creeping up.
Oh my god! What is that?
Do you think this thing was the real deal or just some kind of hoax? We want to hear your thoughts. A beluga whale's crush. If you think you're the only one crushing hard on all those Korean oppas, well, you're wrong, because it isn't just us humans, but these beluga whales too who love Korean men. This beluga whale has such a big crush on her trainer that it refuses to kiss anyone else but him. And waits all day for just him to come to her and play with her. The other two males have to be separated from her because they like her so much that she finds them annoying. A close call. This guy was out in the wilderness filming a video, just minding his own business, when all of a sudden, he sees something bolting towards him like a bat out of hell. And guess what? It's a freaking mountain lion! Yeah, you heard me right. This guy is staring down a big, wild apex predator. But you know what's even crazier? He manages to narrowly escape like a boss. This dude had a seriously close call.
No, you face, dude.
But he lives to tell the tale, and we're all glad he made it out in one piece. Woman helps kangaroo. This little guy had his hands burnt in a forest fire and didn't know what to do. So he came to the humans for help. And lucky for him, this kind woman was there to lend a hand. It's incredible how calm and trusting the kangaroo is while the woman tends to his wounds. Bear chases snowboarder. So this girl was snowboarding as usual, but then something unexpected happened to her. She was singing a song while getting on her board, and once ready, she started riding. Suddenly, she noticed a glimpse of a bear chasing her from behind, but she didn't fully comprehend what was going on. Thankfully, the girl was quick enough to escape the bear and unknowingly saved her life. A weird creature. This weird little thing was recorded deep underwater, transforming into different shapes. The researchers, the people on the internet, in fact, every single person who saw this was shocked to his core, wondering what this creature could have been and what other superpowers it might hold. Can this be an alien? I mean, I can't help but wonder, you know? An unusual friendship. An incredible video aired on an Indian news channel featuring the most mind-blowing thing ever. A leopard visited a cow every night, and they had their own secret friendship going on while the humans snoozed. Upon investigation, it was discovered that the cow had taken care of the leopard when it was a baby, and now the leopard was not ready to let go of its caregiver. How sweet is that? A bizarre fish. So these scientists saw a super weird fish and were totally confused. But then something crazy happened. The fish suddenly shrunk its mouth down really fast, and everyone was shocked. It turns out that the fish is called a gulper eel, and it has a special kind of mouth that can puff up to eat big things. This fish is really interesting because of its cool mouth and the way it moves around. Overall, it's pretty amazing. A mouse deer. The secrets hidden in the deep forest seems endless, and we never know what we might find. Recently, a trail camera in Vietnam caught a glimpse of a rare two-tone mouse deer that scientists thought had vanished 30 years ago. It was strolling around leisurely as if it owned the place. It's amazing that some of these unique animals have managed to escape hunters and predators, giving them a chance to flourish in their natural environment. Flying snakes. Have you ever heard of flying snakes? Yeah, you heard that right. Flying snakes. A viral video making the rounds on the internet recently showed these slithering creatures taking to the skies. But don't worry, they're not flapping their wings or anything. They're actually gliding through the air. These incredible creatures, known as Chrysopelia, have the ability to contort their bodies and flatten their ribs to cover a significant distance after launching themselves into the air. It's an amazing feat that allows them to travel between trees with ease. Who knew snakes could fly? A pelican. This pelican was recorded by a man trying to eat a capybara. I mean, we know and I know that he knows that the capybara is too big for him, but no, that won't stop him from doing that. And then he is just left all embarrassed because he did not succeed. A dinosaur. Even though the video is made by an amateur and we don't know who made it, it's perfect for our list. Can you imagine that there's a pterosaur flying in the sky? We know about pterosaurs because of fossils in movies, but we can't see them anymore. But some lucky people saw one and filmed it. I'm happy we have the video. Do you think it's real or just for attention? An embarrassed gator. Most folks would bolt to the side of an alligator, but not these guys. This couple not only keeps one as a pet, but also knows how to make it blush. When the gator struggled to chomp down some grub, it got bashful and decided to give up and take a dip in the water instead. Aw, poor fella. Lazy ducks. A group of folks caught some ducks being super chill. Even when the water dragged them toward the brink, they were like, nah, whatever. Everyone was freaked out, but little did they know that these feathered friends were just messing around. As soon as they got close to the edge, they flapped their wings and flew to safety. Sneaky ducks. Crab builds its house. Check out this super cool video of a crab making its very own sand and water home. It's not every day you get to see something so unique and amazing, and it's mind-blowing to watch how the crab constructs its shelter with such accuracy and speed. By building its cozy little house, the crab can keep itself safe and hidden from any danger lurking around. Deer eating squirrel. Have you ever noticed that when people think no one is watching, they tend to do the most bizarre things? Well, apparently the same goes for deer too. Recently, I witnessed a deer chowing down on a meaty snack when it thought no humans or cameras were around to catch it in the act. This made me rethink my whole perception of deer. I used to think of them as peaceful grass-eating creatures that kept to themselves, but now I'm not so sure. The super cat. You might think of cats as grumpy creatures, but don't let that fool you. They actually care about us as much as we care about them. Just check out this clip where a cat saves a toddler's life. The baby was headed straight for the stairs, but the cat sprang into action and rushed over to prevent a nasty fall. What a brave kitty. And to make sure the baby stayed safe, the cat even sat guard at the bottom of the stairs to keep the little one from trying again. How sweet is that? An ostrich fight. Did you know that ostriches are the biggest and heaviest birds out there? Even though they're usually harmless and don't bite much, we found a video of one going berserk and attacking a man. A group of guys were just hanging out when suddenly the ostrich went after one of them. It made the bird so angry in the first place, doesn't it? A python. So let's tell you about this wild incident that went down in Thailand. One mom, Thanapum Laken, who's 42, woke up one morning to find their dead kitten in her house with bite marks all over its body. When she went to her son's room to investigate, she found a massive 10-foot python just chilling under the bed. Crazy, right? Well, she didn't waste any time and called for help, and luckily, the authorities were able to catch the python safely. Lekian thinks it's a miracle that her son wasn't sleeping in that room that night, and believes his guardian angel was watching over him. The morning glory clouds. Have you seen these amazing clouds that look like a giant snake in the sky? They're actually a rare meteorological event that only happens in certain parts of the world. This dude managed to capture them over Lake Michigan in the USA. Basically, it happens when the air is really humid in the early morning, and a cloud forms at the front of it, creating the leading edge of a cylinder. Pretty cool, right? A rat temple. Did you know that in India there's a temple dedicated entirely to rats? It's called the Karni Mata Temple, and it's situated in the city of Bikaner, right in the middle of the Thar Desert. Can you believe that over 25,000 rats call this place home? According to locals, every rat born there is believed to embody the soul of a family member, and they are considered sacred. People even drink the milk left behind by the rats after they take a sip. As much as I love dairy, I don't think I'd be able to handle that rat-infused milk. I might just turn into a hardcore vegan. This image is taken from a video that went viral a few years back. At first, we see a car driving on a dark road, and out of nowhere, a bunch of guys dressed like Charlie Chaplin pop up. It's super eerie how they all stop and stare into the car, especially with that weird lighting in the background. And there's even a dude wearing a mask to make things even creepier. A scary shark encounter. This might be the closest close call with a white shark you'll be seeing here. The man with his friends was out diving, but seconds after he dived into the water, his friends started shouting, "Shark! Shark!" to him.
Shark! Shark!
He went under the water to see what it was, and there the white shark was swimming right beneath him. He tried swimming away as fast as he could, while continuously looking for the shark, and there it came again. This time straight towards the man, but somehow he actually made the shark turn the other way. Good thing it happened and the man came out of the water safely. Poison dart frog. Get ready to meet the poison dart frog, the tiniest but deadliest amphibian out there. These little guys might look like they belong in a Disney movie with their bright colors, but don't be fooled by their cuteness. They're actually serving up a warning that says, "I dare you to mess with me." And you really shouldn't. You see, their skin secretes a venomous toxin that can knock you out cold faster than you can say ribbit. It's no wonder they're one of the most poisonous creatures on the planet. So if you ever come across a poison dart frog in the wild, do yourself a favor and stay far away. Trust me, you don't want to mess with these tiny but fierce frogs. Portuguese man of war. This thing is like a freaky alien that was plopped in the ocean. It looks like a jellyfish, but it's actually a whole colony of different organisms working together, like some kind of underwater Voltron. But don't be fooled by its trippy colors and otherworldly appearance. Those tentacles can reach up to 165 feet long and pack a punch like Mike Tyson in his prime. Its venom can paralyze you and send you straight to Davy Jones's locker. So if you're ever out for a swim in the ocean and you see this bad boy floating around, I suggest you swim in the opposite direction. Trust me, you don't want to mess with this sea monster. Piranha. Piranhas are notorious for their sharp teeth and aggressive reputation. I mean, who hasn't seen those crazy movies where they go on a feeding frenzy and chomp through everything in sight? But the truth is, these fish are usually pretty chill, unless they feel threatened. Sure, they might look like they're straight out of a horror movie, but if you don't mess with them, they won't mess with you. That being said, it's still pretty nerve-wracking to swim in water where they live. I don't know about you, but I'll stick to the pool, thank you very much. Anaconda. This slithering serpent is one of the largest and most powerful snakes in the world, capable of crushing its prey with its deadly constriction abilities. And when I say large, I mean large. These bad boys can grow up to 30 feet long. While they mostly stick to snacking on animals like deer and capybaras, they have been known to take down humans who dare to venture into their territory. So if you ever find yourself face to face with an anaconda, be sure to give it plenty of space, unless you want to end up as its next snack. Bull shark. Move over, great white, because this creature is the real danger to humans. With its sneaky ways, the bull shark is a master of deception and can strike at any moment. Unlike other sharks, this beast prefers the shallow, freshwater areas where humans like to cool off. It lurks in the shadows, waiting for its next prey to come into view. And when it does, it strikes with a ferocity that is unmatched. So, the next time you venture into the murky waters, be on the lookout for the bull shark, for it is a creature of mystery and danger, lurking just beneath the surface, waiting for its next victim to cross its path. Saltwater crocodile. Alright folks, let's talk about one of the most rebel reptiles out there, the saltwater crocodile. This monster can grow up to a whopping 23 feet long and weigh over a ton. I mean, that's like having a car-sized croc swimming around in the water. And let's not forget those jaws. They're so strong they can literally crush bones and even metal. So if you're ever in the presence of a saltwater croc, just remember to keep your distance and give them the respect they deserve. Box jellyfish. Now let's talk about this deadliest but the prettiest creature ever. It is the box jellyfish. Now don't be fooled by its delicate and almost see-through appearance. This thing is a silent killer. Its venom is so potent that it can cause heart failure and kill you in just a few minutes. So if you're ever out there in the ocean and spot a box jellyfish, swim the other way as fast as you can. Trust me, you don't want to mess with this deadly beauty. Hammerhead shark. The hammerhead shark has a head that looks like it was flattened with a hammer. But don't let their strange appearance fool you. These sharks are top predators in the ocean. They can sense prey with incredible accuracy, and their powerful jaws make short work of their meals. While they're not known for attacking humans, it's probably best to give them a wide berth just in case. Hippopotamus. The African river holds many secrets, but perhaps the most dangerous one lurks just beneath the surface. Beware the hippopotamus, for they may appear docile, but they are anything but. With a single snap of their powerful jaws, they can shatter bones and end lives in an instant. These massive beasts are responsible for more human deaths in Africa than any other large animal. Yet they remain shrouded in mystery. How can something so seemingly gentle be so deadly? Perhaps it is their ancient lineage, tracing back to a time when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Or maybe it is simply their fierce determination to protect their territory at all costs. Whatever the reason, one thing is certain: never underestimate the deadly nature of a hippopotamus. Pufferfish. Oh, the pufferfish. This little guy might look cute and harmless, but don't let its innocent appearance fool you. This fish is the Chuck Norris of the sea. It's a total spark plug. In some countries, it's even considered a delicacy. But let me tell you, it's not for the faint of heart. See, the pufferfish has organs that are filled with toxins that can take you down faster than a shot of tequila. One wrong move and you can end up paralyzed, or even worse, dead. So if you're ever offered a bite of a pufferfish, make sure it's been prepared by a trained professional. Trust me, your life is worth more than a fancy meal. Blacktip reef shark. Blacktip reef shark. Don't let their size fool you. These little guys are tough cookies. They may be small, but they are sneaky predators that can attack humans, especially if you're hanging out in shallow waters. So if you're planning on going for a swim or a paddle in the ocean, keep your eyes peeled for these little guys. They might look harmless, but they have a reputation for being quite the troublemakers. But don't let that scare you too much. As long as you're aware of your surroundings and keep a safe distance from these sharks, you should be just fine. And who knows, you might even get lucky and catch a glimpse of one of these incredible creatures in its natural habitat. Australian funnel-web spider. If you're planning a trip to the land down under, beware of the Australian funnel-web spider. This arachnid is a real killer. With venom so potent, it can send you to the great beyond in just a matter of hours. And don't be fooled by its small size and cute little things. This spider packs a punch that will leave you gasping for air. So keep your eyes peeled and your spider sense tingling, because one wrong move and you could be in serious trouble. American crocodile. This is the American crocodile, a true titan of the reptilian world. The elusive creature can be found lurking in the shadows of both North and South America, patiently waiting for its prey to cross its path. With a set of jaws that could crush a steel beam like a toothpick, this beast is not to be trifled with. But there's something mysterious about this creature. Something that draws us in and leaves us in awe. Perhaps it's the way it moves so gracefully through the water, or the way it can disappear in an instant, leaving no trace behind. Whatever it is, one thing is for sure. If you ever find yourself face to face with an American crocodile, you'll be in for one heck of a ride. A baby dinosaur. Apparently, a baby dinosaur, or something that looks like it, was spotted running around the city on CCTV footage. It's got us all wondering, could it be possible that dinosaurs still exist? I mean, how crazy would that be? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think it's legit or just a prank? Swimming gator. Whether it's alligators or crocodiles, we've always seen them as fierce predators. But have you ever wondered what these reptiles do when they think no one's watching? Well, picture this. A gator lazily floating around in a pool, seemingly enjoying the refreshing water. It's almost like they're having a chill moment, just vibing with themselves. Seeing them like this, it's hard not to find them kinda cute, right? Red crab's migration. On Christmas Island in the Indian Ocean, a spectacular natural phenomenon takes place every year. Millions of red crabs embark on an epic journey from the forest to the coast to mate. This journey begins during the rainy season and is protected by park rangers who block off roads and construct temporary fences along the migration path. As the crabs reach the coast, they engage in a frenzied mating ritual before the females lay up to 10,000 eggs each. The island becomes a sea of red as the crabs cover the landscape, creating a breathtaking and unforgettable sight. A witch. This spooky video was recorded in Mexico in 2006. You can see a mysterious figure flying through the sky on a broomstick. Some people think it's a witch. The locals had been talking about these witches for ages, but nobody had any proof until this footage was taken. The witch's flight looks a bit shaky, so maybe she's a new witch still practicing her flying skills. The subscribers pick. This image was taken from a video which shows some researchers doing something strange. You can see a group of people dressed in white and yellow on a deserted beach. They seem to be picking up something from the ground and putting it on a stretcher before taking it away. And of course, we can even see the tail of a creature in the video, which only points in one direction. A mermaid! How crazy is that? Adorable wolves. Wolves are always considered to be the ferocious, the dangerous, the stay-away type animals. But these wolves, I don't want to stay away from them. Looking at the way they're all cuddling and kissing each other, don't they look like the most adorable beings right here? What do you guys think? Komodo dragon. The giant lizard that's basically a real-life dragon. These guys are massive. They're the largest living lizards in the world, and their venomous saliva is no joke. If they bite you, you could end up paralyzed or even dead. And let's not forget about those sharp claws and teeth. They're fierce predators that don't mess around. In fact, they've been known to attack and even kill humans who get too close. So if you ever find yourself in the presence of a Komodo dragon, just remember to keep your distance and give them the space they deserve. Otherwise, you might end up regretting it. Nile crocodile. If you ever find yourself face to face with a Nile crocodile in the wild, you better watch out. These big guys are not to be messed with. They are one of the largest crocodile species in the world and have a reputation for being quite aggressive. They've been known to attack humans and other animals without much warning. So it's best to keep your distance.
Stop.
Cone snail. This is a little guy that you might not expect to be dangerous. The cone snail. These colorful little snails might seem harmless, but don't let their size fool you. They pack a venomous punch that can cause paralysis and even death. I mean, talk about a small but mighty creature. So if you're ever strolling along the beach and come across a cone snail, be sure to admire it from a safe distance. After all, you never know what could be lurking beneath that pretty shell. King cobra. These guys are some of the deadliest snakes on the planet, and they can grow up to a whopping 18 feet long. That's longer than most cars, people! And let's not forget about their venom. It's no joke. If they bite you, you could end up with respiratory failure and possibly even death. So if you ever come across a king cobra in the wild, just remember to give them the space they deserve and admire them from a safe distance. After all, it's better to be alive and well than up close and personal with one of these deadly snakes. Blue-ringed octopus. This little dude may be small, but trust me, it's a ninja in disguise. Its venom is like a 1-2 punch that can knock you out and even kill you in just a matter of minutes. Those blue rings on its body may look cool, but they're actually a warning sign that says back off. If you see one of these guys while you're out swimming or diving, keep your distance and give it some space. But let's be real here. As dangerous as they may be, blue-ringed octopuses are still pretty fascinating creatures. Just don't let their small size fool you. They pack a deadly punch. Cassowary. The cassowary is usually known for its striking appearance, with its bright blue head and neck and a large bony protrusion on its head called a casque. However, these birds are also incredibly dangerous, with sharp claws on their feet that can cause serious injury or even death. Cassowaries are also known to be territorial and can become aggressive if they feel threatened. And when they do, get ready to run as fast as you can and as long as you can, because they will follow you as long as they can. Black Mamba. Get ready to meet the Usain Bolt of the snake world, the Black Mamba. This slithery speedster is the fastest snake in the world, and with a name like Mamba, you know it's not something to mess with. So if you ever find yourself face to face with a black mamba, just remember to give them their space and back away slowly. Trust me, you don't want to challenge this sprinting serpent to a race. Mosquito. You know those pesky bugs that buzz around your ear and leave you itching and scratching all over? Yeah, those are mosquitoes, and don't let their small size fool you. These little bloodsuckers are responsible for more human deaths than any other animal on the planet. How, you ask? By transmitting deadly diseases like malaria, dengue fever, and Zika virus. Trust me, you don't want to mess with these tiny terrors. So next time you hear that high-pitched whine, grab the bug spray and protect yourself from the deadliest animal on Earth, the mosquito. Stonefish. If you thought getting a paper cut was painful, wait until you hear about the stonefish. This little fish may not look like much, but it packs a punch with its venomous spines that can cause excruciating pain, paralysis, and get this, the venom is so potent that victims have been known to beg for amputation just to stop the pain. So next time you're out snorkeling, be sure to watch where you step, or you might end up with a nasty surprise from the deadliest fish in the world, the stonefish. Brown recluse spider. This 8-legged terror is a master of disguise, blending in with its surroundings and striking when you least expect it. Its venom is like a slow-acting time bomb, silently eating away at your flesh until it's too late to stop it. And don't be fooled by their size. These tiny terrors can bring down a full-grown adult with just one bite. So watch where you step and check your shoes before putting them on, because the brown recluse could be waiting to strike at any moment. Stay safe, my friends. Great white shark. You know what's scarier than a shark in a horror movie? A real-life great white shark. These bad boys can grow up to 20 feet long and have a bite force that can crush bones. And let's not forget about their famous razor-sharp teeth. One bite from these guys can be deadly. So the next time you're swimming in the ocean, remember to keep your eyes peeled for the great white shark, the ultimate predator of the sea. Redback spider. These pesky little creatures are found all over Australia, and their bite can be a real pain. Their venom is no joke. It can make you feel like your whole body's on fire. That's why it's important to keep an eye out for these sneaky spiders and make sure you're not their next victim. But here's the thing. As much as we may dislike them, redback spiders are actually pretty fascinating creatures. They're part of the widow spider family, and their females are notorious for eating their male counterparts after mating. Talk about a bad breakup. Tiger shark. Check out the tiger shark, a big bad predator of the ocean. These bad boys have been known to attack humans and are one of the most dangerous sharks out there. With their razor-sharp teeth and incredible hunting abilities, they're a force to be reckoned with. If you see one in the water, it's best to give them plenty of space and let them do their thing. Cape buffalo. Africa's version of the Hulk. These big boys can weigh up to a whopping 2,000 pounds, making them one of the biggest and baddest creatures out there. And here's the thing, they're not afraid to throw down. They've been known to take on lions and even humans, and let me tell you, you don't want to mess with them. That's why they're also known as the Black Death. So if you ever find yourself face to face with one of these beasts, just remember to give them plenty of space and respect. Gila monster. This little dude might look like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but trust me, it's 100% real and 100% not to be messed with. Why? Because it's one of the only venomous lizards out there. That's right, this sneaky little guy packs a bite that can cause some serious pain and swelling. But here's where things get mysterious. Nobody really knows why it's venomous. Is it for hunting? Self-defense? Who knows? All we do know is that if you ever come across a Gila monster, it's best to give it some space. After all, you don't want to end up on the receiving end of a venomous bite from this cool but dangerous lizard. Sydney funnel-web spider. Did you know that the Sydney funnel-web spider is basically the Australian funnel-web spider's BFF? And let me tell you, their venom is no joke. It can knock you out faster than a kangaroo bouncing on a trampoline. Plus, if you get bitten by one of these creepy crawlies, you could end up with respiratory failure or even die. So make sure you steer clear of these 8-legged critters if you happen to come across them. Safety first, folks. Elephants. The gentle giants that can turn into raging beasts. Now, I know we all love these intelligent and majestic creatures, but let's not forget they're also one of the biggest and most powerful animals on land. And when they feel threatened, they're not afraid to throw down. They've been known to attack and even kill humans who got too close to their turf. So if you're ever in the presence of an elephant, be sure to give them their space and show them the respect they deserve. Trust me, it's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to these big guys. Inland taipan. If you're not a fan of snakes, then you better steer clear of the inland taipan, mate. This snake is not to be messed with, as it's considered the most venomous snake in the world. Its venom is so deadly that it can cause multiple organ failure and can kill a human in less than an hour. Talk about fierce. Despite its fearsome reputation, the inland taipan is actually a pretty fascinating creature. It has an incredible sense of smell and can detect prey from miles away. Plus, its venom is being studied for its potential to help treat certain medical conditions. Who knew this lethal creature could have a softer side? The subscriber's pick. This image shows a huge predator of the world of water, with its weird horrifying mask and tentacles showing. We also see a boat nearby comparing, which we can see how big the size of the creature is. But well, no matter how creepy this may look, it's not real. Instead, it is an image created through Photoshop. Still, with the ocean being only 3% discovered, who knows? Maybe this actually might be real too. What do you guys think about it? Black caiman. This crocodile is like the Hulk of the animal kingdom. It's one tough customer. And let me tell you, if you ever find yourself in its neck of the woods, you better watch your back. This bad boy has been known to attack humans, so you don't want to mess with it. I mean, just imagine coming face to face with a creature that's built like a tank, has jaws that could crush a car, and is just itching for a fight. Yeah, I think I'll pass on that one. So, if you're planning a trip to South America, make sure you steer clear of this feisty dude's territory. A ghost. Let's check out this clip caught on a home security camera outside a house. You can hear faint footsteps before a blurry figure appears and moves across the screen. Since the video quality is poor, it's hard to make out any details. Is it a prowler or could it be something paranormal? Upon closer inspection, the figure seems to briefly disappear when it reaches the center of the screen. This leaves us wondering if it's just a camera glitch or if there's something more sinister going on. A chupacabra. These two men kept hearing strange voices from their backyard and eventually decided to go check. But what they did not know was that they were in for a surprise. A huge monster was seen running to hide from them, but that did not stop the friends there. They had to go check, and that is when we see the terrifying face. The video ends right there, so let's just hope both of them are okay. An alien. The folks who were used to discovering fishes on the shore were taken aback when they stumbled upon a strange human-like creature that had washed upon the beach. It appeared to be a miniature version of a human, with a slimy coating all over its body and small limbs. The more they examined it, the more it mystified them, especially when they observed it breathing and slightly shifting its eerie body. What do you think it was? A creepy being. While a farmer was out with his goats and cows, he sensed that something was not okay. So he took his camera out and started checking the area. And what he found was this creepy black creature with big horns at the very edge of his property. Even though the creature did not look interested in coming near or harming the man, it was still good that he only recorded the thing and did not try to go near. An angel. This incredible video was taken in Jakarta, Indonesia on September 11, 2011. You can see a radiant winged being that looks like an angel descending from the sky and touching down on the ground before taking off again. When people saw this video, they started calling the figure the Angel of Jakarta. Some people even thought it might be a guardian angel sent down. However, there's always a chance that this might be fake. A strange woman. In 2016, a strange video surfaced online showing a woman shopping at a mall. Suddenly, an item falls behind her, and she puts it back on the shelf. Then she starts acting weirdly, as if something is controlling her. She drops her shopping and writhes on the floor, screaming loudly. Her screams even push the onlookers away. As the man in black tries to hold her down, the woman calms down, but then lets out a final scream, which makes objects in the store move and the security camera flicker. A mystery light. This video was filmed by a guy from Mexico. Some people who have watched it are saying it's one of the most clear sightings of a UFO ever caught on camera. Against a totally dark sky, you can see a weird blue circle that looks like it's morphing into different shapes. Apparently, this man had this strange thing hovering over his house for about a half an hour before it vanished. What do you think it might be? A waterbender. Have you seen this video that's been going viral lately? It's really interesting. Nobody knows where it's from, but it seems to have been filmed in Africa. In the video, a group of people are gathered around a woman standing in the water, and it looks like some sort of ritual is taking place. But then something crazy happens. All of a sudden, the water recedes super fast, and the bay is completely dry where others are standing. People freaked out and said that the shaman caused the water to shift using some kind of divine power. But nothing was ever explained by anyone. A witch. A bizarre figure dressed in white was spotted standing directly under the window of a house where the mother and her baby had been only moments before. It appeared as though the figure knew where the family was located. The incident left the woman feeling shaken and terrified, with no logical explanation for what had just happened. Some say it was a witch, while others think it was something else. Still, it remains a mystery. A levitating creature. Whether it was an extraterrestrial being or simply an optical illusion, this video is fascinating to watch. A large group of individuals gathered to witness this bizarre creature, which appeared to be levitating in midair while wearing wings on its arms and feet. Although it resembled a mermaid or an alien, it actually looked more like a boy. However, the reality behind the levitation was not as mysterious as it seemed. In fact, it was just a simple trick involving thin strings that helped the individual hover in the air. A UFO. A pilot was on his usual routine, flying a plane from one city to another. But what he did not know was that he was about to come across a sight he had ever imagined, a UFO. Now, for those of you thinking it was just a balloon, those don't fly forwards, they go upwards. And also, balloons do not have this kind of speed. So, nope, that wasn't a balloon. To me, it totally looks like a UFO. Bigfoot. In this video, Rick Dyer, a self-proclaimed Bigfoot tracker, claimed to have killed the elusive creature. The video shows a tense moment where the massive beast attacks the man holding the camera. Afterwards, Dyer provides a few pictures, claiming they're of the Bigfoot he killed. So do you think it was really a Bigfoot that he killed, or was he just lying straight away? A cheetah. This clip features an American tourist who got an unexpected guest on a safari in Tanzania. Well, Britton Hayes from Seattle got a special visitor in the form of a cheetah who jumped right into the back seat of his vehicle. And if that wasn't wild enough, another cheetah decided to join in on the fun. Poor Hayes was frozen with fear, praying he wouldn't become dinner for the big cats. Weird sea creatures. A few years ago, there was a video that became really popular online. It showed a strange sea creature that some people had caught and filmed. A lot of folks believe it's the real deal, and pretty creepy too. The creature looks a bit like a sea hare, but with some serious sharp teeth inside its mouth. Honestly, I don't know what it was up to, but it definitely gave me the heebie-jeebies. An open grave. While paying a visit to his loved ones in the cemetery, a guy stumbled upon something peculiar. He noticed a grave that was partially open and seemed like it was being destroyed. As he went closer, he was taken aback to see the remains of a body buried there, including a tall skeleton that was around 1.8 meters tall. But that wasn't all. There were other skulls and bones inside the grave, which hinted at some sort of witchcraft. However, nothing was ever really explained or cleared up. A mountain witch. This video features a man named Hassan, who is an explorer of witches. He voluntarily searches for witches, and in this particular video, he visits a witch mountain to find one. To his surprise, he actually spots a witch dressed in black clothes and holding a stick, which seems to be made from an animal skull. Initially, she was sitting at the cave entrance, but when she saw the YouTuber, she went inside and started mumbling some spells. Suddenly, a stone hit Hassan's face, which was a signal for him to back off as the witch didn't want to be disturbed. A clingy octopus. Imagine you're out scuba diving, and when you surface for air, you discover an octopus that won't let go of your back. In a recent video, a diver experienced this unexpected surprise and was trying everything he could to shake off the clingy cephalopod. Despite moving in different directions, the octopus wouldn't budge, and the diver started feeling uncomfortable with its sharp beak and sticky suckers. Perhaps the octopus just wanted a hug. What do you think? A ghost. As the driver was cruising down the Queensland Highway, little did he know that he was in for a surprise. As he continued driving, he spotted something unusual on the side of the road. To his shock, he and other onlookers saw a ghostly figure standing in the middle of the road. The ghost, which appeared to be a pure white child, was just a few inches above the ground. The eerie sighting quickly gained fame and was dubbed the Ghost Child by many. However, some skeptics argued that it might have been just a human baby who happened to wander in the middle of the road. A sea lion. Okay, so I've got a creepy story for you. A girl was taking a break near the harbor when, out of nowhere, a sea lion popped up, grabbed her, and dragged her into the water. Her family and bystanders freaked out, but luckily, a brave dude jumped in and rescued her. It was a shocking incident because sea lions usually don't attack people without a reason. The flashlight fish. The video showcases the mesmerizing flashlight fish, which are found in the deep waters of the Pacific Ocean. These unique creatures have special light-emitting organs located beneath their eyes that give them an otherworldly appearance. The lights can be used to attract prey or communicate with other fish. The video captures the fish swimming in schools, creating an incredible visual spectacle that looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. Watching these underwater titans move and glow in the dark depths of the ocean is truly a sight to behold. Flipping iceberg. These thrill seekers thought it would be a cool idea to climb a giant iceberg, but things quickly went south when a massive chunk of ice rolled over on top of them. Talk about a chilling experience. Luckily, they managed to escape with their lives, but let this be a lesson. Sometimes it's best to just stay on solid ground. Don't you guys agree? Strange lights. This video was recorded by some fishermen out on the Pacific Ocean, and it shows these really strange lights in the sky. They might be a group of lights or something, and they seem to be moving in unusual ways. Some people who had watched the video were convinced that these lights were actually UFOs, but no one had been able to provide a logical explanation for what they might actually be. It's totally a mystery till today. Millions of dead fish. Have you heard about the latest buzz in Australia's outback? Recently, a shocking video surfaced showcasing the aftermath of an unprecedented die-off of fish in a river. Due to extreme floods and hot weather, millions of fish have been left to rot in the river, resulting in a foul smell and a severe ecological crisis. However, there's some good news. Contractors have been hired to remove the rotting fish from the river. Crocodile mummies. Crocs, whether they're dead or alive, will always give people the creeps. While excavating ancient tombs, researchers stumbled upon 12 crocs buried in the soil. From a distance, they looked like they were still alive, with their textured skin appearing fresh and their teeth still intact in their jaws. It was a bit unnerving, as it seemed like they could open their jaws at any moment. The researchers were amazed when they discovered that the crocodiles had been buried for 2,500 years, yet were still in almost pristine condition. A cuttlefish. Have you heard of cuttlefish or cuttles? These little guys are actually fish found in deep parts of the ocean, and they're known to be highly toxic. But let's not focus on their dangerous side for now. Instead, let's talk about how incredibly unique and fascinating they are. Just take a look at their mesmerizing colors and reflections. It's no wonder they've been nicknamed the disco cuttlefish. And that's not all. They even have a way of hypnotizing their prey before attacking. It's truly a wonder to witness. A fire tree. We're all used to the idea that tree twigs and branches are handy for starting fires. But hold on to your hats, because this video is going to blow your mind. It shows the inside of a tree that caught on fire, and people think it was caused by a lightning bolt heating up the sappy insides, which conduct heat really well. Or if you're feeling mystical, maybe supernatural beings sparked up this awesome fire for their own bonfire. What do you think? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. An elephant. Sometimes animals can be big, frightening, and downright terrifying. But every now and then, they need a little help from us humans. Take this elephant for example. Poor thing was shot right in the head and was bleeding out. Obviously, elephants don't have a clue how to fix bullet wounds. So he approached some nearby humans, being careful not to scare them, and showed them the bullet lodged in his skull. Thankfully, the doctors acted quickly and did everything in their power to remove the bullet and treat the infection. Petting a great white. The shark saw the fisherman in the shallow water and decided to attack. But to the shark's surprise, the man did something unexpected. He petted the shark when it came out of the water, showing no fear of the shark's strong jaws. The fisherman even gently stroked the shark's side for a while before sending it back into the water. It's hard to tell if the shark enjoyed the encounter or if it was just looking for a chance to bite the man's hand. Woman on a tree. Nope, she wasn't a ghost. She was a real woman, standing on top of a fig tree and freaking everyone out with her creepy moves. People were shocked when they saw her standing on a delicate branch of the tree, dressed all in white. They called her the Spooky Lady because they couldn't understand how she was able to perform such stunts without any visible support. However, when she was rescued, it turned out that there was nothing supernatural about her behavior. Snakeheads. So there was this wild incident where a farmer found a snake's head in his backyard, and it was still alive. I mean, can you imagine that? The head was moving. It's pretty insane, but apparently snakes are different from other animals. When they lose their heads, they don't need a lot of oxygen to keep their brain going. So the head can actually survive for hours without the body. Crazy, right? Spinning dolphins. These dolphins are impressing everyone with their athletic abilities, jumping high and spinning 7 times in the air. And if that wasn't enough, they can swim at an incredible speed of 200 miles per hour and cover long distances in a day. Recently, a spy dolphin captured footage of these playful creatures having a great time off the coast. But it's not just their stunts that make them unique. They're also known for their intelligence. To avoid predators, these dolphins never fully sleep and always keep their brains partially awake. Humans in cage. Do you consider yourself brave? Would you be willing to step into a cage in the middle of a jungle where lions are roaming nearby, just to get a closer look and better look at these magnificent beasts? There's actually a tourist spot in Harrismith, South Africa, where they'll put you in an enclosure and leave you in the midst of lions. In a video, you can see an elderly couple sitting calmly inside the cage, while lions are roaming around and even sitting on top of the enclosure as visitors take pictures. Well, that's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for getting updates related to our latest videos.
Prepare to be unnerved and chilled to your very core as we unveil spine-tingling scenes of unknown predators captured in the dark depths of pitch-black forests. These bone-chilling, enigmatic beasts lurk in the shadows and have left experts baffled and the bravest trembling. Join us as we will show you the most shocking and terrifying encounters ever caught on film. Sleeping Beast. This scruffy beast was first seen crouched over a rocky peak in Arizona, but later it was seen resting near the woods. With its hair-covered face and faceless body, the creature certainly looked terrible. The limbs, which were bent or even partially chopped, contributed to its horrifying features. However, even though the rescue personnel were contacted right away and the shaggy figure was brought into jail for additional testing, the authorities provided no details on its whereabouts. What then was it? And from whence did it originate? Tell me what you think. The slender figure. This dashcam captures a man sprinting across the road at an unearthly speed. I'm curious about its origins and aims because of its strange legs and humanoid shape. Is it an extraterrestrial being from space, or perhaps a fabled skinwalker on the hunt? The driver's inaction prompts doubts about the veracity of the footage, but the unpredictability of the enigmatic figure is really unsettling. The Yeti on the Hill. A group of tourists were shocked to see a huge, hairy person hiding in the thick forest among Nepal's snow-capped hills. The enormous stature and human-like stride remind people of the fabled Yeti. As the tourists considered their chances of coming across the unsettling creature, they felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. With each traveler telling their own version of the event, the meeting turned into an amazing experience. After going through something so strange, I would probably never venture into the woods again. Rock-throwing creature. Always intending to spook us, this time Bigfoot has devised yet another scheme, lurking behind a massive tree. The man who is visiting the woods is being watched by the cryptid. And then, as soon as the camera reaches those sneaking eyes, not ready to make an appearance, it hides behind the trees, but it returned once more. That too with a strike strategy this time. The Bigfoot realizes it's time to leave as he tosses a stone in the man's direction. The man quickly returns to his automobile.
Oh, that was a rock. Oh.
And now the beast stands at a slight distance without even trying to hide itself and throws a stone directly into the cameraman's face. Although this video has drawn a lot of attention, analysts think there's a good probability it's not a human wearing a costume, because it would be difficult to make a throw while wearing a bulky outfit. Coyote howling. The image stands out as the most peculiar trail cam capture. Captured in Southern California, it depicts 3 coyotes howling simultaneously, howling and exuding the spookiest sensations while standing somewhat apart. The man considered it to be the scariest thing he had ever come across until he noticed an object in the shadows. 2 dazzling eyes stared directly at the coyotes as though they were about to attack. However, what was it? Some suggest that these eyes could belong to a lurking Sasquatch-like creature that was drawn to the growls as it feeds on the animal's blood, despite the fact that some thought it was another animal. However, please share your thoughts on the image with me. Rake sighting. Aiming at the unfortunate man adrift in the forest, creeping up a slender tree. That is one lean beast, all set to strike its next victim at any moment. This is the tale of an Alaskan man who went to Tongass National Park in 2018. He got lost among the tracks while camping there with his buddies. As the night deepens, he starts panicking, thinking he may not make it to his group. The man went crazy when he noticed something on the tree. the guy was startled as he turned his light back to the creep's body and saw the lean creature with an open mouth and the fabled blazing eyes after initially mistaking it for a wild animal. There was just one option: to run. So he did that exact thing. Crouching Giant. Captured in the northeastern region of Arizona, the video shows a massive beast that can be seen slithering over a rock. The strange crawl is what makes this creature spooky. Although it resembled a gigantic black bear, no four-legged creature moves in this way. Thus, convinced that it was the supposed Bigfoot discovered in the Arizonian highlands, the man was taken aback when, in a matter of seconds, it transformed its body into a tiny canine-like creature. What then? A dog or a bipedal animal? He was confused when others suggested a different idea and dubbed it a skinwalker after the man published the video. It is said to transform and assume the forms of many different creatures. So, a skinwalker then? An enormous animal? Or a ruse? Tell me what you folks think it is. Monstrous wolf. In an attempt to photograph the newborn bear pups, a man placed his trail camera close to a black bear's lair. After spending the entire night there with his camera and coming back the following day, the man was taken aback to see what strange-looking monster the cubs had become. The strange appearance was further enhanced by the demonic features, alien-like ears, and frighteningly bright eyes that exude a spooky aura. The wolf-like monster was peeking out from the trees as if it was searching for something, most likely his next victim. However, because it was photographed in the dark and there were no other obvious evidence of the cryptid's presence along the trail, save the video that was taken, not much could be found out regarding its identity. Monkey Man crossing river. The Bigfoot enthusiast had a rather different tale to tell. They genuinely think that the creature in the river is a SASQUATCH, known as the monster of the Dewey Lake. This entity from folklore inhabits the southern part of Michigan and is said to possess a strong and hairy body. Despite having half of its body submerged in water, the creature appears towering due to its reddish-brown torso, and this is what sets off people's mental triggers. Is that a man wearing a monkey suit? Or is that the lake monster? The strange humanoid figure. Trail cameras are positioned to watch wildlife, but occasionally they record unusual scenes like a strange humanoid figure walking across a field. Its human-like characteristics and atypical limbs raise questions regarding the existence of unidentified species or cryptids. This mysterious, enigmatic figure pushes the boundaries of what we know about the natural world and invites us to investigate the realm of the unexplained. The discovery of the trail camera inspires awe and curiosity in us and compels us to learn more about the mysteries that are outside the realm of our normal understanding. Bigfoot family. You'll feel your spine tingle as you explore this trail camera owner's incredible encounter and its mysterious contents. And there it is, the vague outline of a big, hairy animal moving through the forest with a similar humanoid figure that might be its offspring. Two additional black figures that are hiding in the distance are what have everyone even more perplexed as the argument regarding Bigfoot's existence and nature rages again. Were there more of these creatures lurking in the shadows? The image's validity is still a mystery, but its mystery feeds into the never-ending debate about the legendary animals. The tentacles of the deep. A trail camera captured this breathtaking and terrifying scene during a strong storm. Enormous tentacles rising out of the ocean, reminiscent of the legendary Kraken. The enormous ocean depths conceal countless mysteries, and this vista of enormous marine life makes viewers think about nautical myths and stories. The existence of these enormous creatures calls into question accepted wisdom regarding our oceans. The few glances that cameras provide us with of these creatures provide us with more questions than answers on the wonders that lie under our waters. Bear's Spooky Heist. The following video shows a black bear skulking around a homeowner's property, examining its surroundings like a cunning would-be thief. He sets out on a daring quest to raid the chicken coop as soon as he thinks it's safe. He searches around for a way to unlock the wooden coop. He looks around for possible flaws while standing on his hind legs. When he's unable to open it calmly, the bear becomes desperate and uses force to rip and bite through the wood. But wait, there's more to see from the homeowner's trail camera. The homeowner is left in shock by the midnight marauder as the bear flees into the darkness after being startled by an alarm system. Ghost bird. Talk about an eerie surprise! Imagine mistaking a ghost bird for a harmless piece of wood. The great putu, a nocturnal bird renowned for its unsettling camouflaging abilities, is this grumpy-looking beast. These skeletal birds, found in Brazil and Mexico, give you the creeps. But fear not, they are largely benign and content to live in their forest habitat. So the next time you see a strange-looking bird, hold off on drawing assumptions. Perhaps it is merely a ghost bird keeping watch over its eerie realm. Abandoned car forest. Tucked down in the middle of a Belgian woodland is an auto cemetery that would make horror flicks blush. Can you imagine neon-colored flowers blooming from engines, or cars entwined with tree roots? You'll think that this post-apocalyptic scene is right out of a Hollywood production. But don't be alarmed. Nature is slowly reclaiming man-made objects, as evidenced by this unsettling spectacle. Some residents find the automobiles to be a lovely quirk, while others find the constant stream of inquisitive tourists unsettling. When you drive through Google Maps, you'll encounter something that'll make you doubt reality. Fearless forest thieves. These days, raccoons aren't limited to the grasslands and woods. They're now moving into cities. They are the best scavengers because of their skillful paws, which allow them to pick locks and unlock doors. Watch this trail camera video to see how raccoons find an abundance of food. A buck, though, wants in on the action as well. Soon, as more raccoons join the celebration, a vicious brawl breaks out. The deer is outnumbered, but its antlers are formidable tools. Nevertheless, the raccoons fulfill their namesake by darting off and coming back for more. Hiding predator. Taking a deer by surprise and choosing not to fight it? Is that a real predator hiding there in the shadows? When he set up his trail camera, this man had no idea it would record an unsuccessful ambush attempt. A deer initially materialized in front of the camera and settled in to unwind, slumbering there for a while. Right before it shifts and briefly disappears from the view of the camera, two bright eyes materialized behind him and began to go to the side. Even though he was asleep, he instantly got to his feet and startled the predator after realizing he had been watched. Deer approaches hunter. Now, either this buck must have witnessed something for which he was unprepared, or a large beast is approaching to attack him. This hunter was aiming for the wild deer in the Kruger National Park. However, it was taken aback by his peculiar behavior, because the deer charged at him as soon as he brought down the rifle. Standing next to him, the spooked-up deer didn't stop staring back at him even while the guy stroked it, as if someone was still at it. Even after the examiner saw the film, it became clear that the deer only act in this way when they are genuinely afraid or in need of some assistance. Face to face with chimps. This man, who generally shies away from people, was shocked to see the chimp seated next to him. He was terrified, but tried controlling himself. He's being incredibly patient. They gave off the creepiest vibes when they sniffed him and then pricked the terrified man with their sharp nails. Even more, one of them scaled the tree to presumably perch on the adventurer's pack. And just when it seemed like the adventurer would always be under attack by the chimps, they started to leave. They all departed one by one, as though something had compelled them to. Thankful but perplexed, as quickly as they could, the explorers also left that place. Ghostly spirits. Strolling through Stansted Forest and past a little UK town, this man managed to snap an eerie scene. There were other ghostly spirits floating in the air along with the fog. A few had the appearance of an elderly woman, while others resembled children, and the rest were distorted as nothing could be made out of them. The people who live close to the woodland claim that these are the ghosts of an elderly couple who tragically died when they crossed the nearby railroad tracks, and they have been tormenting those who visit that woodland ever since. Bear attacks wild piglet. The Tejon Ranch Conservancy is the scene of a ferocious hunt captured on camera as a wild piglet is being chased by a grizzly. The bear made a leap, that is, a leap towards success, just as he was about to lose his catch and managed to get the piglet this time. With his enormous jaws clamped shut, the bear disappears from view. But aren't we all aware of what transpired with the unfortunate piglet? It's obvious that this bear dislikes being in the spotlight. Observe his ferocious charge towards the camera. He returns to the wild, sad that nothing more could be done. Peeking alien. You won't be able to organize a late-night camping trip after watching this video, especially not in the middle of a creepy forest. Friends were building a fire to keep scavenging animals away from their tents when they heard an unexplained disturbance in the darkness. When one of the guys threw the fire in front of the tree, he wasn't expecting to find this. A little gray cryptid with pointed fingers was hiding behind the tree, attempting to stay warm. As the man filming it tried to get a better look, the creature hurriedly scurried away. Unfortunately, details regarding the figure were unavailable, but it appeared to me to be an extraterrestrial. Humo crab. A group of friends were enjoying a bonfire in the middle of the dense woods when they decided to go for the girl who had disappeared so they could make a call.
Can't see it very well. Yeah.
This decision gave them the worst shock of their lives. While looking for the girl, they were horrified to discover that she was lying lifeless in front of a tree.
Stop. Okay.
Suddenly, though, an unsettling thing leapt out from behind one of the bushes. The unknown entity appeared to be a human crab-like monster with several limbs connected to a human body. Even if there was no satisfying conclusion to this video, these horrifying minutes should be enough to make you reconsider your camping plans the next time you go out. Sasquatch spotted in Russia. These 16-second video clips feature some of the weirdest moments anyone has ever witnessed, captured in 2011 by an unidentified source in Russia. This video provides a closer look at the most talked about mythological beast. With its enormous hairy torso and extended arms, it resembled a true Sasquatch. There was nothing else to be said about the creature because the man filming it appeared to be afraid of it. However, the flawless humanoid gait suggested that the fabled Sasquatch was in the woods, since it was spotted hurrying through them after realizing it was being filmed. Hidden striker. Wild animals have long been drawn to trail cameras. This time, it was a covert attacker who targeted a trail camera that was placed somewhere in Japan. The unidentified creature was standing at the back, moving the camera left to right in an attempt to remove it from the tree. When attacking from behind failed, a wild boar that was hidden there surfaced and continued to attempt to take the enigmatic object from a tree. Scary gator. Here we have another swamp inhabitant filmed somewhere in southwest Florida. It was spotted creepily approaching the trail camera with glowing eyes and horrifying features, giving the impression that it would snap open its hideous fangs and shatter the camera in an instant. Fortunately, though, this menacing alligator ignored the trail camera and moved quickly through the wet marsh while towing its powerful armored tail. Woodpecker smashed trail cam. 2 years ago, a group of scientists were recording various wildlife species with a trail cam when they recorded an incredible moment. Unfortunately, An aggressive woodpecker was drawn to the scene, who was definitely not pleased with this new addition to the trunk. It began pecking the camera while staring straight into the lens, and it kept doing so until the camera was totally damaged. Whatever the purpose, it could be pecking to dig a nest hole or simply spotting an insect to eat. I was genuinely curious about the strength of that pointed beak. Lion chewed GoPro. This time, an inquisitive big cat targeted a GoPro instead of a trail cam. The lioness chose to approach and opened her enormous mouth to seize the camera with her strong teeth after ambushing the camera positioned at the rear of a Jeep. Following a successful camera heist, the large feline swiftly fled and was observed sprinting. She stole the camera from her owner and chewed on it with her pointed, sharp teeth in the bushes far away. And all that was visible to us was a close-up of its mouth. But when the lioness realized there was no flesh on that thing, she left it there and moved on. Strange alien sticks. This time, a trail cam caught footage of something entirely unearthly. Not a dogman or a Bigfoot, but a strange white person with missing hands and incomplete facial characteristics that was seen on camera at an unidentified location. It accurately appeared to be walking on its long, odd legs. Then, from a distance, a second monster with the same features appeared and began moving in the same way. Both of the unidentifiable animals bounced past the camera, moving their defective bodies on the strangely elongated legs. Though not much is known about these unidentified walking objects, they reminded me of marching alien sticks that had risen out of nowhere and vanished into the woods. Dog chased a hairy beast. A man took his dog to the lush habitat of the wild with the intention of recording some moments with the wildlife. The camera was set on the collar of the dog, and it unintentionally photographed a giant biped that appeared from one side and went directly in front of the camera while it was wandering through the wooded route. Many people assumed the enormous monster, which was briefly seen, was a bear, although bears don't typically hide. They attack. Upon closer inspection, the black features of a bear also resemble the legendary Bigfoot. Thus, is the Bigfoot or any other hairy beast making its way through there? Guesses, anyone? Wolfman hybrid. Following on the list is some of the strangest footage, which displays a big, hairy creature with some odd traits. Multiple times, an animal head was captured on a bipedal humanoid body. After seeing this video on a trail camera, a group of hunters made the decision to go to the woods in hopes of finding further hints. However, before they could get to the precise spot, they saw another hairy beast tampering with the enormous excavator bucket. Since they were moving, only a brief video of the scene was captured. Despite their efforts to halt and pursue the creature, it swiftly disappeared back into the jungle. They have become sufficiently persuaded of the Wolfman's existence after gathering substantial proof of the enormous black beast. Predator's mouth. The hairy body, the eerie mouth, and the teeth in the shape of a cone. When a man in Pennsylvania placed his trail camera above a little locust tree, he was startled by the bizarre images it took. Despite not being an animal, the camera managed to catch the interior of its mouth. The man initially mistook it for anything else and believed he had caught an enigmatic monster attempting to attack the camera. After viewing the photos repeatedly, he eventually realized that it wasn't an unidentified animal, but rather a fisher, a weasel family member drawn to the camera by the clicking sound it makes when taking images. Resting brute. Here's the hairy beast relaxing in the scorching sun, and here it's meandering through the forest. Strange noises have been heard coming from the state park nearby. The residents decided to install a trail camera to find out who was creating the weird noises, even though they weren't initially aware of the source. They were let down when they saw nothing on the trail cameras. However, just when they had given up on ever apprehending the rowdy neighbor, a hairy ape-like creature was seen lying on the ground by one of the trail cameras. The enormous size of the beast, even in its state of repose, was enough to freeze the people to the bone. Here is the hairy brute resting under the blazing sun, and here it is strolling in the woods. Unknown animal. Well now, that's one spooky critter that was spotted wandering through the forest. The image was captured by a trail camera in the Mexican woods in 2019 and occasionally appears online. The image depicts a spooky creature that, despite his hyena-like features, is significantly different from one due to his hairless body. What then was it? The man made the solo decision to go into the woods in an attempt to get answers. After failing to locate one, it was when he was making his way back that he noticed odd sounds coming from the deep forest. However, ill prepared to face the terrifying creature, he made the decision to retreat. Lucky squirrel. More than an hour was spent stalking it and waiting for the right moment. Finally, the owl made the decision to go after the squirrel. However, the hungry owl's day was not lucky, since, as it pursued the squirrel through the forest, it was about to subdue it with its sharp claws, and then came the tree, and it struck the bark quite hard. Thus, the squirrel hid beneath the fallen leaves this time, taking advantage, rendering it uncatchable for the owl. Spooked deers. 3 deer running in the opposite way from each other. Many are trying to figure out what might have happened to frighten the deer after seeing this image captured by a trail camera. Although I believe I know the answer to these concerns, from the exact track, another camera caught a partially visible deer facing the opposite direction, because that's where the Bigfoot is, right behind the prickly bushes. It's also possible that the deer have seen the Bigfoot here as well, which would explain why they are so terrified. Christmas beast. When one family saw something in the woods on Christmas Eve, their day became a nightmare. The Bigfoot was just briefly captured on film when it emerged from the pitch-black jungle and glided around its edge. As a result, it was difficult to trust the video. The dog is seen sprinting in the same direction that the Bigfoot was strolling up to at this point. Fearful, yet growling at the creature, the dog practically lost control. And honestly, the video seems pretty legit due to the dog's reaction. And even though this location is different, the camera captured a similar figure strolling along the icy sidewalk. Struck by owls. While exploring Arizona's deep forests, explorers have claimed to have seen a large number of dead birds. They were also able to determine the cause by installing their trail camera. These unfortunate eagles, resting on the tree, had no idea that a predator was waiting for them. When he was initially hidden in the dark woodland, the only way to identify the flying predator was with his bright eyes. Waiting for the right moment to strike, and then taking it, it materializes out of the shadows and accomplishes his intended task, striking the dozing eagle with his powerful claws. With his intensity, it appears nearly impossible for him to stop coming. Where in their defense, the eagles have most likely forgotten to soar, they could see the squirrel taking care of it for them. He made a huge, seemingly airborne leap as soon as he realized he was going to be attacked. However, this is where the owl was seen abruptly appearing on the track and striking the rider in the face. Wood chase. The days of mountain lions avoiding human interaction are long gone, as they are now frequently spotted interacting with hunters, and yes, even pursuing hikers. Like this time, a hiker on the route came with an enraged cougar. Trying to get the cougar to go away, practically pleading with it, the man turned to go back, but was unable to turn around, because that hungry predator would have an open invitation to go after him.
I promise. I'm not going away.
Since it's already waiting for its chance to assault the man. The man did indicate his safe return when he published the video, despite the fact that it ended in the middle of the chase. And here it was, a bear that had been seen pursuing the rider into the woodland. The bear bolted toward the cyclist, appearing out of nowhere among the trees. Even though he was riding quickly, the man was startled by a falling tree. He immediately got to his feet and raced to the right side of the woods, where he was fortunately spared from the assault. Sasquatch hunting. Paul Freeman, who was always on the lookout for Bigfoot in the impenetrable forests, gained notoriety in the late 1990s for presenting the most reliable Bigfoot evidence. And it's one of those unquestionable catches here. Captured in 1994 in Oregon's Blue Mountains, while on a walk in the woods, Paul noticed movement behind one of the trees. He quickly opened his camera and saw the walking bipedal ape. Heart thumping, he continued filming the hirsute beast, terrified by his discoveries. The hairy cryptid was big enough to be seen, even if it was moving slowly. Following analysis, he went on to say that it was a massive beast that stood at least 2 meters tall. Gazelle ditches lion. When it comes to the lion versus any other wild animal, I believe that we are all a little biased toward the king of the jungle. However, this video will totally shift your point of view. A group of explorers was filming a gazelle drinking water in the Serengeti National Park when they noticed a lion coming stealthily in. They also predicted the outcome. Just as the lion was about to seize the gazelle, it surprised it with its incredible speed and leapt over it, heading in a different direction, surprising both the onlookers and the lion. As the gazelle managed to preserve itself, it was undoubtedly a memorable defeat, and the lion was unable to turn around due to his rapid speed. Well, if it was a stall, I must say, gazelles are quite good at it. Cougar defense. Video footage of a mother cougar and her cub, taken in the Mendocino National Forest, opens with them cuddling. However, you are unaware that a grizzly bear is about to spoil this amazing occasion. I must admit, though, that the bear is likewise unaware of the mommy's fighting skills. The mother cougar swiftly covered her kids and moved toward the approaching bear, while keeping an eye on it. The bear struggled fiercely, but was eventually bitten severely on one of its ears, which ultimately turned out to be a cue for the bear to retreat. The grizzly outruns the cougar and retreats back into the jungle, even though it was being followed. Bear chasing bald eagle. This merely serves as evidence of how far a bear will go to obtain its meal. A family was fishing in northern Saskatchewan when they noticed an eagle's nest perched atop a towering tree. The scene was captured in a Canadian forest. However, a bear charged the tree and began attempting to scale it shortly after a few minutes had passed. The bear was carrying a big load and was having trouble climbing the tree, but the family said that despite falling multiple times, he never gave up. And at last, reaching up there, it is seen fighting and outlasting the parents, even at such a height, and coming back down, holding the eaglet in its teeth. Kansas skunk ape. Numerous tales of the Kansas City skunk ape that was frequently discovered in the woods are making the rounds on social media, but this one was above them all. While strolling her dog through the jungle, a woman noticed a massive, hairy creature ambling through the trees. The beast was likely 6 feet tall, with dense hair covering its face, making it nearly impossible to see. What do you guys think this anonymous being was? Despite the fact that many think it's a Sasquatch that was photographed, some people are skeptical about it, and viewers find it difficult to accept that the creature in the film is genuinely a Bigfoot, rather than a costumed human, because it's a little grainy. Grizzly bear attack caribou. This time, it's a caribou. Grizzlies are no doubt the most determined animals when it comes to feeding their empty gizzards. And coming up with different strategies, they really don't give their opponents a chance to strike back. Drinking water from the stream, the caribou found itself standing in the face of death as a bear was aiming at it, striking with its massive antlers and running off to the other side. Just when the caribou thought it had outrun the bear, there it was again, standing behind the poor animal. And this time, when the caribou tried to scare the bear off with its antlers, it grabbed it from there and, well, don't we all know what happened next? Climbing coyote. One thing is certain. If it results in the wild creatures stuffing their stomachs, they won't think twice about doing anything. Because, well, how often do you see a coyote up a tree? Alka, a Pine Lake resident, took a picture of the coyote eating berries while perched on a tree branch. After initially consuming them from the ground, when it was unable to reach the delicious berries, it made the decision to ascend. Coyotes are thought to be able to climb up to 18 meters. Thus, even if it appears common, they are rarely spotted doing so. Bear and hunters. Perched on a hunting stand, the hunter believed he was hidden from the wild creatures. However, he was proved wrong as a bear approached to say hello. After spotting it perched atop, it swiftly scales the tree and confronts the hunter. The bear investigated the tree, and the man also dropped to the ground. Remarkably composed, the hunter captured the entire event on camera. When these two charged on the top of the tree, those hunters were shivering, even if the preceding one had been a little calmer. Fortunately, they returned after sniffing one of them and losing interest immediately. Buck attacks trail cam. They look like they're ready for a battle when they appear on camera. The deer bolted toward the camera after buckling up and standing in front of it. When you hit it a bit lightly at first, it returns quite fiercely this time and then comes back. The deer genuinely glared at the camera, not only missing this time. He then attempts to destroy it while working on its backup plan. After a package of destruction, the bear returned to the jungle. The owner of the camera was taken aback by its peculiar behavior, which had no apparent explanation. Croc hunts wild boar. A visual representation that conveys the feeling of being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Standing in the water because of the wild dogs waiting for it in the dry land. This wild boar has no idea that it has unintentionally invited another dangerous predator. A crocodile hiding in the water stalked the boar while it considered how to get rid of the hounds. It then leaped at the boar, clutched it, and threw it back into the water as soon as it noticed the approaching predator. Their expressions show that, despite their grief at losing their capture, the dogs are also grateful that it was not one of them. Werewolf encounter. The widespread belief is that werewolves typically surfaced at a full moon. Although, however, a man claimed to have had a near brush with a werewolf on a pitch-black night 3 years prior in Brazil. When the horrifying beast came out of the shadowy jungle, it was observed cowering behind a wooden structure. But as soon as it realized it was being observed, it leapt out and tried to harm the man who was filming it. Fortunately, though, the man was able to flee, and all he saw was a glimpse of the werewolf attempting to intrude into his one and only backyard. Bear inspecting trail cam. Are you still under the impression that the only creatures that venture outside at night to investigate are the mythical ones? We have a really weird video that shows a creature with thick, hairy limbs attempting to seize control of a trail camera. The enormous, inquisitive bear attempted to take hold of the camera with its teeth after utilizing its enormous hands to take it out. A bear's powerful teeth can typically completely destroy a camera. However, when this footage abruptly stops, what could have happened to the camera is unknown to me. Can someone further enlighten me? The Catalonian Fallen Angel. Have you ever seen something so eerie and bony that it made you reconsider going out at night? Meet the terrifying cryptid known as the Catalonian Fallen Angel, which was seen on camera in Spain. We're not sure if it's a real demon or simply a crazy person. That glaring eye and the lightning-fast movement, though, would make anyone want to flee for the hills. Some people even assert that it has wings remaining on its back. Whether or not this is a fallen angel, it's truly an unsettling creature. Clever monkeys. This trail camera footage shows a group of inquisitive monkeys. They approach the camera and look at it curiously at the start of the film, demonstrating their curiosity. A courageous monkey even ventures closer to examine the enigmatic contraption in further detail. But what at first glance appeared to be a harmless curiosity quickly takes an unexpected turn. The monkeys eventually show their real colors after engaging in some lighthearted conversation. They had been plotting to take the camera all along. It's clear that these primates are up to no good as soon as the camera moves. Their cleverness and resourcefulness are astounding us with their naughty conduct, demonstrating once more the wonders and secrets of the natural world. Mysterious encounter down under. 3 friends can be seen jokingly posing for a picture at 4:38 in this North Australian video, completely oblivious to the strange event taking place behind them. Rather than taking a picture, the camera bearer captures a remarkable moment in time. Something that defies description appears behind them and makes them feel extremely afraid. Slowing down the video allows us to get a better look at this mysterious creature, which has an odd mix of human and canine features. Its elongated limbs are humanoid in appearance, although they are strangely thin. The creature, clad in blackness, moves on all fours, displaying an unsettling agility. This incredible experience serves as a reminder of the mysteries that lie beyond our knowledge, even though its true identity is yet unknown. Mysterious highway encounter. Picture yourself driving down a busy highway, going about your business, when you see something strange happen. A driver is left completely perplexed when they see an unexpected scene on their camera. A van comes up from the other side as they round a bend. Observe carefully as a man appears out of nowhere on the road, appearing to be falling. There's no chance of his falling out of the car because the doors never open. Rumors are rife. Did he really have remarkable powers, or did a gateway arise and send him along the road? We're left wondering about the unexplainable since we don't know the man's identity or the whole tale. Mysterious glitch in reality. In this strange video that went viral on social media, a man is shown naively going down a set of stairs without any idea what terrifying things are going to happen to him. Something very unsettling occurs when he goes onto the pavement. Out of nowhere, he trips over a woman's lifeless body that's lying on the ground. Twice the video is replayed, once in slow motion and again featuring a close-up of the enigmatic, unmoving figure. Such unexplainable occurrences are frequently referred to as a glitch in the matrix, where reality appears to briefly distort beyond comprehension. Viewers are perplexed by the woman's abrupt entrance and uncannily lifeless state. So what are your thoughts? After seeing the film, share your comments with us about this enigmatic and bewildering mystery. A figure in the wilderness. Imagine watching your trail cam footage and coming across this strange sight. Likely, you would consider one of 2 options. Initially, there was a scarecrow that had unexplainably fallen from its pole, possibly to go see the magician. Alternatively, you could have a sense of being lost in a forested rendition of Elm Street. A human-looking figure with an odd helmet rushing across the woods makes no sense at all. It's enough to send shivers down anyone's spine and leave you wondering what in the world, or beyond it, you just saw. At times, the natural world can genuinely astonish us with mysterious and unsettling experiences, leaving us with more questions than answers. Cryptid in woods. This man is unaware that a scary beast is about to destroy his plans to explore the woods early in the morning. After setting up camp in the forest and choosing to go around the trails, the man noticed an odd cryptid behind one of the trees in the footage he was filming. He was heard inquiring if that was a cow approaching, possibly perceiving it was a wild animal. However, the odd-looking, whitish thing approached the man before he could identify it, leaving him with nearly little time to rescue himself. However, the man scrambled to get away from the menacing stalker. And furthermore, since the video finishes abruptly, it is unclear what happened next. Stalking a Bigfoot. This time, a man rather than the Bigfoot made the decision to follow it. As he entered the woodland in the snow, the man was certain he would find what he was looking for. Not so simple, however, after spending several hours strolling through the woods. The man saw this thing. The hirsute person, either unaware of him or choosing to ignore him, was observed strolling around, unfazed by the man. This time, he grabbed the beast from a slightly closer perspective, since he was not content with the distance he had previously used. Just take a look at the Sasquatch's lofty height and bushy torso. The analysts saw that the beast was at least 1.7 meters tall, and could have easily finished the victim if he had wanted to after reviewing the footage, but luckily it did not. Sasquatch on stroll. The man was hiking through the Maine woods in the morning, not realizing he had a buddy with him, creating a video blog and discussing the trails in the deep woods and the wildlife that may be found there. Just before the guy moved his camera, the supposed Sasquatch was seen standing motionless next to a large tree, presumably hiding from the man or pursuing him. Throughout the entire time the camera was focused on it, that Yeti remained still. However, the man only got a glimpse of the terrifying figure, since he failed to recognize it immediately. Snowy Bigfoot. A group of adventurers saw this strange bipedal creature strolling down the mountain as they were standing in the middle of nowhere. Its enormous torso was completely covered in dense black hair. Examiners found that it would be impossible for a human to walk on the snow slope without any obvious assistance, despite some witnesses claiming it was just another hiker on the mountain. The people were astounded that it traveled such a great distance in a short period of time, especially considering how difficult it is for an individual to walk at such a high speed in the snow at the moment the camera captured the wide panorama. Horned animal. The creature was discovered in Colombia by a farmer who was searching the area for bees after it had crept out of a spiky bush. The animal's unusual appearance was enhanced by its two horns over its head and its black color. It was sitting beneath a power pole and was staring straight at the cameraman, giving off the impression that it would attack at any second. However, the man was so afraid of the unsettling cryptid that he dared not approach it. After a few minutes outside, that horned beast vanished behind some bushes and was never seen again. Unicorn elk. This unicorn is not exactly like others, but it gained notoriety due to a deformity in the antler directly above the nose. Thus, it became the elk family's unicorn. Taken in Tampico, a tiny town close to Illinois, this deer had an unusual appearance when it first appeared on the trail camera. While other onlookers thought it was an alien species because it was so unusual, researchers explained that, despite being unusual, this phenomenon is caused by a genetic mutation, or occasionally an injury sustained during the antler growth process. Witch in dark. A farmer installed a trail camera to record what happens there after midnight after hearing odd noises for a few evenings in a row. At first, nothing was captured, but when the man had started giving up hope, an unsettling figure started to appear from the screen. The monster had luminous eyes and an alien-like visage, giving it the appearance of a witch. The people were in disbelief since they had never seen a creature like this before, because they could not see the remainder of the body in the dark forest. What was it then? An extraterrestrial? A sorceress? Tell me what you guys think, please. Road crossing Yeti. Driving down a road encircled by a dark forest, a man was forced to apply the brakes quickly. How come? Well, the answer is that strange thing that's sitting in the middle of the road. Upon catching sight of it from a distance, the man initially believed it to be a man in need of assistance. However, he stopped his car there, and as he was ready to get out, the cryptid began to crawl away from the road and into the bushes. The crawler's eerie characteristics are enough to frighten anyone, even if they are a little fuzzy. And since it was posted in 2021, the authorities have not disclosed anything regarding its genuine identity. What then was it? Tell me what you think. Skinwalker. This pale creature, who appeared to be elderly, was observed strolling around Kentucky in 2022. Inspiring paranormal buffs, this video went viral right away. The video's unsettling atmosphere is enhanced by the alien-looking humanoid monster that is seen strolling down an abandoned street. It also appears to be a little slumped over. The creature appears to be lurking from somewhere and has a faceless body. Is it a ghost captured on camera, or might it really be an alien hiding from humans? While many people accept the visuals that have been supplied, some people reject the hypothesis and contest the veracity of the film, arguing that it might actually be a human being walking strangely. So, whose side are you on? Let me know. Lion attack. Wild creatures are one thing that people are always afraid to come across when they venture into the woods. Nobody can ensure a safe return if that wild animal turns out to be a lion. When these guys were heading inside their tents for the night, one such incident occurred. When two unexpected guests showed up in front of their tents, they began attacking anything that stood in their way. The lions appeared to be searching inside for prey, mostly out of curiosity and rage. One of them, the reportedly more hungry lion, noticed the man hiding in the tent and began tearing it apart with its powerful claws. Lingering for a while, unsure if he would catch his intended victim, finally the lions both depart, but with a scary memory for those campers to always remember. Ancient creature. In 2018, a strange-looking creature was discovered in a tiny Russian village. The farmer was walking home from a busy day when he noticed this freaky head emerging from the ground. He was captured on camera in a cornfield. He discovered the entire thing after going a little further, and it was much stranger than before. It resembled an undiscovered prehistoric species that had been discovered buried, thanks to its strange eyes and even stranger torso. And despite the fact that the scientists examined it right away, nothing has come to light. This gave it an even more ominous appearance. Rake caught in dark. The man who lived close to the woods decided to investigate after hearing unusual noises emanating from somewhere deep within the forest. Following his friend, they spent nearly an hour searching the dense forests without finding anything. They made the decision to go back. However, they began to hear the grunting sound once more as they were returning. And as soon as they turned their cameras to the other side, they saw a frightening thing that resembled an alien sitting next to a tree. When the cryptid realized it had been captured, it turned to face the boys and glared at them with its terrifying glowing eyes. They were eventually forced to flee back to their house. Spooked deer. Captured in North Carolina, a deer could be seen grazing on the ground. However, it stops abruptly there and looks about as though something has startled it. Not seeing anything, just as the deer keeps on, it notices something once again, and a bit larger this time around. Just take a peek at how it frightfully dashes to the other side and turns back. What then might it be? Something like a demon? An untamed animal? However, why wasn't it captured by the camera if it was an animal? So, what was it actually? Bipedal deer. A woman was taken aback to witness the peculiar behavior of a herd of deer that had wandered up to her house as she was filming them. Everything was going along normally until all of a sudden there was a wave of unease among the herd, and some of them fled, leaving the others behind, until one of them chose to rear up on its back legs in order to display the object's hidden power. Frightening the women and the other deer, none of them had ever witnessed this action in such a way. When people began referring to it as a shape-shifting alien, researchers discovered nothing remarkable. Surprisingly though, deer frequently use this tactic to scare and subdue their opponents. Ghost on tree. The hazy apparition with glowing eyes was photographed in Brazil and gave the onlookers a spooky feeling. A humanoid entity perched atop the tree appears a little perplexed as people point at it. However, because it resembles an extraterrestrial, the fact that it was just as afraid of the humans as they were of it raises suspicions. It is challenging to understand what these individuals are genuinely attempting to accomplish, because they are communicating in a foreign tongue. It's evident that despite their fear of its peculiar appearance, they are attempting to somehow capture it. However, it vanished abruptly out of nowhere, leaving the onlookers in disbelief, since they were unable to determine what it was. Tired moose. Animals seem to have a habit of becoming caught in the most unlikely locations. This time, a moose became lodged in a tire swing. A man was astonished to see the moose outside the house during the day because it was severely trapped. And then, at first, attempting to save it with a large stick. The moose was already scared, so it proved to be of little assistance. In order to try to save the tree by sitting on the stop, the man had to climb the tree. Even so, it was not simple. For once, though, it worked. And then watch the moose return without hindrance. And here's another moose who was spotted crossing the road, trapped in a mesh tree swing. Sasquatch shadow. It appears here for a split second before disappearing. What may this flashing object be that was captured on camera? Many people thought the animal captured on camera was a mountain lion or possibly a bear, but when the footage was shown to the investigators, they discovered that the animal was actually a baby Sasquatch. This is due to the animal's incredible speed and the plausible head that appears on the camera, indicating that it's a bipedal animal. A second identical creature was seen on video, most likely excavating on the forest's ground. It appears to have limbs and legs similar to the rumored Bigfoot. So, is that video footage of a Bigfoot? Or do you have a better explanation? Tell me, please. Biped wolf. Driving close to a forest after midnight, the motorist had to apply the brakes right away after seeing something strange. No, it wasn't a Yeti, but rather a wolf ambling on its hind legs. He was already terrified of the stories of the Bigfoot. But hold on a second. Is that a wolf, really? Its slender limbs, peculiar feet, and hardly noticeable ears don't really give it a dog-like appearance. However, it does possess the wolf's fuzzy-like skin. Is that a wolf or some other kind of animal? Tell me what you think of the odd wolf photo. Intruder alert. When the camera was recording the bald eagle's nest, something unsettling happened. Initially, the mother eagle is observed tending to the eggs and then taking a brief flight away from the nest. Upon her return, another eagle joins the nest. Even though the female recognizes the predator's plan, she waits for the initial move while sitting on the eggs. However, it continues to vocally warn the eagle. Not one to go away empty-handed, the male eagle steps forward a little. He was going to charge the one who was seated when she sprung directly in front of him, knocking him from the tree. She then checks the area to make sure her eggs are secure. Coyote and deer. There was a wounded deer visible in front of the trail camera. Two tiny but ferociously hungry coyotes are standing behind it, waiting for the buck to faint so they can get to the meat. Even though the buck is awake, it appears as though it has given up on life because it does not defend itself from the coyotes that are getting closer. However, the coyotes don't always come out on top in the end, just like this. The mother deer appears to be in front of the camera, gathers her two fawns, and leaves the woodland after realizing that a brush wolf has been pursuing her young. And then, a little while later, the mother deer was spotted once more, sprinting after the coyote and narrowly missing it by a few inches. She was later observed circling around a bushy tree in an attempt to capture the fleeing coyote. She was unable to do so, but she managed to save her young from the predators. Hyena chases wildebeest. The coyote surprised the people by capturing the herd of wildebeest during the safari that came rushing towards them. One of them is visible breaking away from the herd, even though the others adhered to the directive to stick to the herd. And seizing the opportunity, the predator began pursuing it, even though it had moved a short distance and the coyote was still having difficulty catching up with it. After a while of running and chasing each other, they were both observed once more, but this time the wild beast was seen fighting the predator. But after growing weary of the chase, the beast eventually met his demise.